You would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
I love that.
They bring out the big boys for Championship Sunday, Leroy.
Oh, yeah.
It's Championship Sunday.
Oh, man, I haven't heard this in a minute. It feels good. It's time to fight, put on the gloves, and go at it. Championship Sunday, that's what I'm talking about. What's up, Joe?
He is Leroy Irvin.
Oh, man.
I'm Joe Murray.
Yeah.
Jeff Williams back there. We got Jake Seymour. Have you met Jake?
I did meet him just briefly. Gave him the pound real quick.
They brought in the heavy hitters today, bro.
Can I say something about this young man? Young man, you're going far. And the reason why is because he did something that a lot of young people don't do anymore, and you probably should. It tells me a lot. When I went to meet him, you know what he did, Joe? He stood up. People don't do that anymore. He stood up and made eye contact.
Firm handshake? Oh, well, pound. Good pound.
But he stood, and if I had put my hand out to shake, I'm pretty sure he would have given me a firm handshake. But young man, keep it up. It seems like something very simple, but keep it up. A lot of young people don't do that anymore. It's a shame.
It's Championship Sunday. Leroy and Joe Murray back at it off of Patriots postgame.
Oh, yeah.
And finally doing a show. Mm-hmm. I've outlined some things to discuss today, and open phone lines. Just feel free. Anything. We're back. 617-779-0985. And we're also on YouTube this morning.
Oh, okay. On the tube.
I'm on the struggle bus today, Leroy.
Why?
It's because I work nights. But I'm doing a morning right now.
Okay.
So my rhythm is my body's like, we're not used to this yet.
Really?
So I know that you're coming in hot, my man.
Yeah, I got a lot of energy. And before we get to all the sports stuff, we are here until what, 2 o'clock?
All day, bro.
All day. I got something I got to put out there, and I'm going to need the people's help too. Joe, do you know what I did yesterday? Can you take a guess at what I did yesterday? I mean, I know that is such a broad, but what would have me so excited, but at the same time wanting to talk to you and ask for your opinion and to bring in the people to see if they can help me out?
Well, the only thing I can think of is you went to church.
Nah, that's a Sunday thing. That's a today thing.
I don't know, Jeff. I was thinking of something, man. Church was the first thing that popped in my brain.
I need to go back to church. Lord, forgive me. But no, that's
What did you do yesterday? What did Leroy do yesterday? You hung out with your children, right? And you got inspired about something.
No, I dropped them off at work, and my
Okay.
youngest son is sick, so I couldn't hang out with him. But it has to do with family.
I'm out.
You out?
I got nothing. I'm trying to think of something.
Joe?
Because you dropped the kids off.
I dropped
and
the
you
kids
were without
off.
your family.
Yes.
So
Joe, I went ring shopping yesterday. I was window shopping for a ring, but I'm dead serious, man. It might be that time. A brother is about to. If this was the NFL
Does she
draft,
know this?
Yes. If this was an NFL draft, but it was a wedding draft, a marriage draft, they'd be cutting to me in my living room right now because the pick's about to come up and your boy's about to be off. He's about to be gone.
Okay. This is big.
But here's the deal. Obviously, I haven't done this in a long time. So I don't know who to trust when it comes to getting a ring. So maybe you got some connects or know where I should go, or maybe the people know where I should go to get a engagement ring.
Okay. So to set the scene, Leroy yesterday went window shopping.
Yes.
And this has to do with family?
Yes, because I could be getting married.
Well, so I will say this off the air, because Leroy and I, we share a friendship.
Yeah.
And we have spoken about this before. Mm-hmm. So this isn't like you haven't anticipated it or not wanted to do it or had cold feet or any of that stuff.
Joe, let's be honest. I think every man who's about to make that decision has moments where it's like, what do I do? Should I do it? But I'm not there.
No, you've never been there.
Yeah.
At least that I know of.
Yeah, right.
I do remember a period of time where some of your coworkers were upset that they didn't meet the new person you were dating.
You got to keep.
How long ago was that, by the way?
Over 2 years, almost 2.5 years.
Remember that?
Yes.
You were dating somebody new.
Yeah.
And some of your coworkers were pissed that you didn't talk about it.
You got to mind your business. That's the thing.
But that's the thing.
Business. Yeah.
You can't be bringing that to work because then you're getting chirped.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to do this. The way you got to do it is that way. So I have a lot of advice for you right now. And I would just say stay the course. Stay the course, meaning you yesterday. Yeah. Did you wake up yesterday and be like, I'm going ring shopping?
No, but her and I were together, and it hit my spirit. It hit my soul. It hit her soul, too. And I'm like, yo, let's go. And so we went. And here's where I'm having difficulties, because if you go to one place, they'll tell you one price. You go to another place, they'll tell you another price. And then there's this whole thing between lab diamonds and real diamonds.
Yeah. And then the certified G versus the H versus the I. And then how many carats do you want?
Emerald cut and all this stuff.
Yo, bro, it's a process.
Now, I'm not the richest man out there, so let me just put that out there. A brother has to work pretty much 7 days a week to maintain. So I need a little bit of help. But yeah, Joe, you the people.
I know a guy, first off.
I knew it. I knew you would.
I know two guys, and then I got another guy that knows a guy.
Okay.
So, like, I got people for you, but you're going to have to pay for that one. Like, here's the deal. I was in the automotive business for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I whenever someone wanted to buy a car, we never discussed price unless they touched that thing and drove it. Mm. Because here's the deal. Like, I feel as though you're ready.
I am ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
Now it's about being ready to go forward and actually purchase the thing. Mm-hmm. It's not an easy process to just purchase a diamond. Then you got to get the band, then you got to get its size, and you got to make sure it's the right size for.
Right.
And then how you got to propose?
Yes.
Right. And it's you just need the diamond and then the ring.
Yes.
And then work out a price.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now.
We're at that, and I'm worried that I don't want to get a diamond. What was the movie with Adam?
Is it Adam Sandler?
Yes. And KG was in it.
Uncut Gems?
See, I don't want to deal with people like that.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that guy.
Seedy.
No. You don't want that guy.
I don't want to get it, and then she takes it and has someone look at it and they say, "Look, it's fake." I don't want that. I'm brand new to this thing. I want to do it right. I want to get it right. So, like I said, Joe, the people, I need your help. I am in desperate need of your help. Good, sound advice, and so far, Joe, you've given me excellent advice.
May I just ask? How does a man just go window shopping? Like, what were you downtown? Like, where'd you go? Like
South Shore.
Oh, the South Shore Plaza.
Yeah.
And then you see the stores, and then you start walking, and then, come to Tiffany's. See, I stay out of there. I don't go near Tiffany's. When Tiffany's is there, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Quite frankly, I don't even know if I even like a Tiffany in my life. I see that place. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's a no. Like Louis Vuitton, every once in a while, I'm like, no, stay out of that place.
Yeah. There was a song back in the day, especially to young people, by an R&B artist named Joe. And then it got sampled, too, by Big Pun. I don't want to be a player no more. Now, I was never a player, but that sums up how I feel. It's time to lock it down, man.
You just, listen, Leroy, let's be honest. You have met a fantastic woman.
Yes, I have.
Who, honestly, works her own job.
Yep.
Has her own business.
Yes.
Has her own house.
Yes.
And quite frankly,
she don't need me.
She don't need you.
No, she don't.
I'm glad you and I are on the same page here.
I know.
So, like, you actually talking about this on the air right now, I bet you she has people calling her, be like, yo, man, loves you. Because it's true. Yeah. You just want to, now it's like you're giving back.
Yeah, man. It's been nothing but peace.
Tupac always said, like, to his mom, you are appreciated. This is now your chance to show your appreciation.
Yes, you are.
But you need help.
Yeah, I need help.
I know you do.
I have great and beautiful intentions, but I just want to go about it the right way. I don't want to get screwed. I don't want to be in the hole for something that's just not worth it. So again, I need your help. Joe, thank you for your help. And I know we got to talk.
I know sports. A guy.
Okay.
No. Not only are the Chiefs and the Bills in Washington,
Yep.
in Philly, ring chasing. But my man Leroy is ring chasing right now.
I'm ring chasing too. It's the conference championship of my life right now.
I thought you were going to tell me that you found out you were Irish and Italian.
No. We did that. I let everybody know about that a few years ago. That was an excellent day. That was during the St. Patty's Day parade too. Remember that?
Yeah. You know what? I think we're off to a hot start.
Okay.
And I think you have inspired. It's Championship Sunday.
Yeah.
We got rings on the mind.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Because you win today, you get a championship ring.
Try to get a ring too. Yeah.
I know nobody cares about those, but they are worth something on the market.
Yes.
You know.
And we're on YouTube right now, so I'm showing the camera. I have paper so I can take notes. This is serious business, and I know the people are calling in. I need.
Let's do it right off the bat. Let's go to a guy, Fritz. He's in Texas. Hey, Fritz.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Listen, I'm hearing all this stuff about how we got to get Alex Bregman.
Sorry. No, we're doing ring talk. I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Call back. Alex in New Hampshire. Hey, Alex.
Hey, who cares about Alex Bregman when Leroy needs a ring here?
Yes.
But, Leroy, this place called Blue Nile up in Salem, best place ever. Don't overthink the engagement. It's the easier part. Get the ring, get on a knee wherever it is, and it's over with. Blue Nile up in Salem.
All right, wrote it down. Appreciate it, Alex.
Now, not so. Listen, we could solicit businesses all day on the show. That's not what we're here to do.
Yeah.
We need Leroy to now plan of attack. So I would start with, you know what women love? Size.
What?
What size are we doing?
Oh,
ring.
okay, I thought you were talking.
No, I'm being serious. I didn't realize the guys in the back.
I got hot real quick. I started sweating.
No. Size, bro.
Okay.
Size.
Okay.
What are we doing here? Like I've told you, your girl might not care about 2 carats, right?
Yeah.
Because we're talking 10 G's a carat, bro.
Woo!
All right. I'm that's a rough estimate. We're talking 10 G's a carat.
Okay.
So, Bugs Bunny, where are we at on that? What's up, Doc?
Okay.
Where are we at on the size, bro?
All right, so let me see. All right. My understanding, because I've had people help do some research on this thing, 14 carat.
14 carats?
Yeah.
Dude, do you know how much we got to do some research here, bro.
See, this is what I mean.
14 carats is $40,000, bro.
Right, so that's out the
no.
Throw that out the window.
It's 10 grand a carat. That's a lot of carats. No.
Yeah, she gonna have to
we need
understand.
We need to.
I can't do that.
Listen. Anywhere from 1 to 2. I don't think she needs to. Okay. That's me personally.
Okay. That rhymes.
Not that she's not worth 5. Right?
Yep.
But we got to talk size.
You guys, okay.
We need to be somewhere, because like you said, it's about your means.
Yeah.
She means a lot to you.
Yeah, she means a lot to me.
But at the same time, money. This is where Jeff, have you been
Isn't
here
it supposed
before?
to be like 3 months' salary?
3 months?
I'm pretty sure.
I've heard. Can you Google that?
I mean, that's what my daughter's mother used to pull on me.
Oh, she got
3
you.
months.
She was like,
salary.
it's got to be 3 months' salary. I'm like, you out of your mind?
Yeah. I'm not trying to be sleeping in my car after.
I hear you.
No.
Oh, God, there's rules to this thing now. Joe's in Burlington. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Leroy, the only guy you got to go see is Peppicelli in Boston.
No.
That's it.
But wait, we know about the guys. We got guys.
All right, that's the only guy you need.
Okay, where does he start with size?
Size 4.
Size 4.
No. I'm talking like carat.
Oh, dude, come on. You got to get at least three big fatties on there.
Oh, dude. I don't think you guys realize.
30,000?
I don't think you realize the carats we make in radio. I mean, that's,
We make baby carrots. You ever go to the store?
No, the little ones?
Yeah,
no, ours are chopped in half.
Sliced carrots. Minced carrots.
Marco in Jacksonville. Hey, Marco.
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
Good.
I'll tell y'all, we're about to get married in March, so I'm a bartender, and I'm doing all right. But we went to Brilliant Earth because don't forget, you got to get a wedding band too. So that's another couple thousand you got to figure.
But some places, though, I will tell you this: 14 karat gold, I think, is what we're talking about when it comes to 14 karat.
Yeah.
But no,
We
you're
went
right.
with the rose gold.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that caller, Marco. You do actually. You got to what it is you secure a diamond.
Correct.
But then you got to buy the band. Band's $300 to $500 or even more, right? And then it's do they want baguettes on the thing? And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I spent about $8,000 total for both, and I mean, like I said, I'm doing all right.
So okay.
He's
So
not
this
helping.
is the money part is like the biggest challenge here.
Man.
But don't forget, you got to come to an agreement to how much you want to spend and what kind of cut, and whether we went with lab grown because it's ethical, and we went with moissanite as well, and it looks like a real diamond, but it's lab grown, so you couldn't tell the difference between the two if you saw them side by side.
I'm glad he said that because I was unaware about lab grown until I went, and I didn't know if that would be looked at as a cheap way of going to do things. But then he brings up the ethical part, and so my understanding from what he just said is people probably look at it like, hey, no blood diamonds or anything like that. It's lab grown, so you're not contributing to the other stuff. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, Marco. That's a good point. Listen, Leroy, I'm sure we could go to the bubblegum machine.
Don't stop it.
Put in a coin, and you could give it to her, and she'd be happy. So I want to start there.
I did that in the 3rd grade. It didn't go over well for me.
I'm just telling you, from what I gather about this gal, I think she'd be just happy with anything he gave her. That's real corny, I know.
No, that's my girl.
That's corn, right? I just threw some corn out there.
Cream corn.
Can we get, I know, hey, listen, everybody. It's Championship Sunday.
Yes.
The games aren't until 3 o'clock. Like, we can't be doing heavy hitting sports takes all day. And I love this from Leroy. This is, I didn't know I was going to wake up to this.
Yeah, man.
My man.
Yeah.
My man's ready.
Yeah.
He's ready. Now, after the ring and stuff, we got to talk about how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll do that. But I would like a woman's perspective. How do you feel about that?
Yes, ladies.
Let's speak with Mary. She's in Topsfield. How you doing, Mary?
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Leroy.
Good morning.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. I haven't done it yet.
Well, you will. From my perspective, stay away from the mall
Okay.
and do the lab grown.
Okay.
It is more ethical. You'll get more for your money. She's not going to ever sell that ring because she's your true love. So it doesn't matter if it's a real diamond or a lab grown. Nobody, and I mean nobody, knows the difference.
Okay.
The key is get 6 prongs. It's safer for the stone itself. And I don't know what type of jewelry she wears, but everybody, 14 karat, Joe, is referring to the gold or the band, not the actual stone.
Okay.
14 karat stone is Liz Taylor material. You don't want that.
I can't do that.
Thank you for telling me.
No. And you don't want to. That would be silly. And that would look fake. If you get something you have to get at least 1 carat because that's beautiful, but go maybe 1 1/4 to 1 1/2. It's stunning. Maybe some diamonds in the band, some little pave diamonds. Do something like that. Just don't go to the mall.
Gotcha.
You pay a premium, and it's not as nice a ring. So that's my perspective. I wish you nothing but luck, and I love listening to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that's the type of information I'm talking about. Wait a minute. You're giving a look like you don't totally agree with her.
No, I think she gave great
Oh,
analysis.
she did great. Yes. I wrote it all down, too.
He really did.
Yeah, I really did. I'm not playing.
That was a blank piece of paper at one point.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. So Joe, I know we probably got to go to break, but today's theme, I guess, it's rings, man. Everybody's chasing rings, including myself.
Yep.
I like that.
Got some really big rings. Got some really nice things. Man, we're going to have a fun today, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
So it is Championship Sunday. Everybody's chasing rings, including my man, Leroy Irvin. We are on YouTube, everybody. I'm already reading the chats.
Oh, boy.
Now I got Bruno Mars on the mind. I got all these songs in my head I want to send.
Yeah, man. It's time to lock it down.
Dude, it's time.
It's time.
But I also think that you should be very I think this one you gotta play your cards right. Mm-hmm. You gotta use all your resources.
That's right.
And like I said, I know Jeff has struck out with the old bubblegum machine, but I think you could do that and you would be just fine. So I know I said size, and our caller started mentioning some carrots as well.
Right.
But I think maybe somebody listening today might be like, "Hey, Leroy, I got you."
Okay.
That's but I do have a couple of guys.
Okay.
And maybe, who knows? Maybe some might be advertisers to that. I don't know. You know?
We'll talk.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk. I appreciate
All
you.
right. Before we go to break, we'll continue this talk because I got to Leroy. He needs some assistance here, and this is big. This is big to me, for you at least. Everyone's chasing rings. Mm-hmm. Who are you rooting for today, Bills or Chiefs? I got a thought. We'll find out Leroy's. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Maz here from Window Nation. During Window Nation's January sale, get 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could get 0 interest and 0...
people around here are sensitive to the Kansas City Chiefs. Notice that?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm included.
I would just like to start with my take that stop being afraid of the Chiefs. The Chiefs got to win 6 or 7 for you to even. Quite frankly, the Chiefs need to win 7 for me to be scared. Right? Lakers, Celtics for years always went back and forth. Celtics have more. Right? When you look back at it, don't be afraid unless they pass you. And that's it. Like the Yankees, they always gloat because they got their 27. You know what I mean? Like they could not win a championship for 100 years, and they'll still tell you how many they've won, right? I just think that Patriots fans caring about them winning 3 in a row or winning, 4 championships and, they're chasing Brady, y'all scared. Like, I don't think they can win 7. Personally, I don't think they can. But hell no do I want the Buffalo Bills to win a Super Bowl. Hell no.
Really?
I don't want the Jets to win a Super Bowl, and I don't want the Dolphins to win a Super Bowl.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's an AFC East thing for me, because I know there's a lot of people rooting for the Buffalo Bills today. There's a lot of gamblers out there. When I tell you the money is on Buffalo today. The money is on Philly. That's where the money's at. And the history, quite frankly, is on Philly's side today. A rookie quarterback going on the road to win 4 consecutive road games has never, ever, ever happened. Also, a rookie quarterback in a Super Bowl. Okay? So take that part aside. Stop being threatened by the Chiefs. Stop it. If they win today and go to another Super Bowl, how do you know they're going to win the Super Bowl?
I know.
How do you know that? And here's the other thing. If they do win, they've won 3 in a row, tip your cap. It's still not 7.
Yeah.
It's still not beating the Patriots. So, people are very sensitive about the Patriots' records. And, it's 2 different leagues. What the Patriots did during 2 different decades and what the Chiefs are doing now, I tip my cap to the fact that Patrick Mahomes is probably, him and Tom Brady are probably the 2 best quarterbacks of all time. I'm already, locked in on it.
Yeah, see, now, logically, you're making a lot of sense, Joe. I'm with you. Hey, if you look back at it, all right. Brady has 7. Mahomes, he's got a lot more work to do. However, I'm going to speak on behalf of the fans, and if there are fans who feel that I'm wrong, please say so. But I believe the fans feel they are aggravated, frustrated with if he wins another one. Talk about Patrick Mahomes. If he wins in, 2 weeks, then we have to sit back and listen to talking heads tell us that he is the greatest of all time. And that's the part that's very, very frustrating. I literally heard, I forget who it was. It might have been Stephen A. And he said,
the Patriots have never gone back to back?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yes. And if they do it, I have to say Patrick Mahomes is the greatest of all time. No, that doesn't make sense. I'm with you, Joe. He's got a long way to go. 7? You got a long way to go. So logically, Joe, you make a lot of sense. It's just that people don't want to hear talking heads that Monday morning after the Super Bowl, if they win, talk about how great and how he is the greatest of all time. And it's just, it's frustrating in that sense. But
just people are scared.
People are scared.
No, you know what, though? The whole talk, the greatest of all time, Patrick Mahomes, I do think had more ability than Tom Brady.
Okay.
Physically.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Stronger arm, better ability, bigger body, could run better. What's even the discussion here?
Okay.
Clearly, Brady's story is better than Mahomes. Fact.
Way better.
Why do you care?
Way better. And they're 2 different styles, period. I would say that Tom Brady mentally just dissects the game better because he has less to work with athletically. And then also, we have to be honest and say that the league was different when Brady first started. And yes, it did change to help quarterbacks, but we are living in a day now where it's totally different from how things started with Tom Brady. Also, Joe, I got to talk about what you said about the Bills, and you don't want to see them win or anybody out of the AFC East. This season, these conference championships, I wouldn't be mad if Buffalo won at all. I'm old enough to remember when they went to the Super Bowl in 91, 92, 93, 94, and lost. As a matter of fact, I had a Buffalo Bills coat, not because I wanted to. That's the one my parents got me. And I got just laughed at every Monday morning after those Super Bowls, and people were just cracking and laughing. But at the end of the day, I feel really, really bad for Bills fans. going 4 times in a row and then having to wait decades to possibly get back, I wouldn't be mad if they won. Obviously, if the Patriots were there, I'd be pulling for the Patriots, but they're not. They're one of the worst teams. We talked about them all season. As it is right now, I wouldn't be mad if the Bills won.
I'm not mad. I just don't want them to win.
I want them to win.
If this was baseball, I don't want the Yankees. I don't want the Orioles to win.
Yeah.
I don't want any of these. I don't want
different.
If the Rays won, that'd be a little different to me.
I'm different. The O's, I wouldn't mind if they won. The Yankees, obviously, no. I don't want them to win. Why? Because they already have so many. And they are, our arch nemesis or whatever you want to call it. The Bills and their fan base, and we know what it feels like to suffer. That fan base has suffered 4 in a row. For those who are old enough to remember, that's tough. That's really, really tough. And to wait this long, we crack on Dallas Cowboys fans because we say you guys still talk as if you won those championships last year. They were winning championships around this time, the Cowboys. That's how long it's been since the Bills went 4 times in a row and lost. If they win, if they go to the Super Bowl, I'm not mad. I'll actually be happy that the Bills won.
Everyone's ring chasing, including my man Leroy Irvin. I know a lot of people want to get in on this. Also, your thoughts, Chiefs, Bills today. We'll talk about both games, but stop being scared of the Chiefs, please. Stop. They got a long way to go. All right, let's go longest order away, Leroy, because I know some people want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. Alex and Holden. Hey, Alex. Alex? Nah, he was too loud. Mm-hmm. Turn it down. Mm-hmm. Brent's in Winchester. Hey, Brent.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
So, Leroy, I got some advice for you.
Okay.
So I got my wife's engagement ring and her band from a private, family-owned jeweler in Medford. Mm-hmm. But that's the route. Don't go to one of the high-end places.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't know the size, take a ring that she wears in general, bring it to the store, they'll size it and go a half size larger than what the ring actually is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Got it.
Brent, good job, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good
you
one.
might have to. Do you know her size, like of her ring?
I'll figure it out. I'll get it. Mm-hmm.
So what the caller just mentioned, that's what you got to do.
And then go a half size larger.
Yeah, because they can adjust it. They have that little machine that just,
Valuable information.
It's always,
Yeah.
That is valuable.
Thank you.
Bob has a very funny story.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
Oh, wow.
That was hilarious.
Wicked funny.
Hope he's all right.
I do, too. Daniel in Melrose.
Leroy.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to give my name over the air. If the guys behind the glass want to take my number, give me a call. I've been at Downtown Crossing for over 40 years.
Okay.
And I'm only 60. Okay. So I've been through this a lot of times with a lot of guys.
All right. Appreciate it.
If it means anything to Joe, I'm heading to Dom's on the way home after I leave my office.
It's Championship Sunday, baby. You got to get those tips.
Stay on the line.
No, actually, Joe, I'm going to... I like to pick up the chicken parm calzone and put it in the air fryer.
Oh, yes. Dude.
It's classic.
Daniel, can I give you a recommendation there, by the way? Like, you'll hear about his steak tips and the sausage. And, dude, he has the best buffalo dip going. I'm telling you right now. It's right in the little right when you walk in, there's a little, produce section.
Yeah, on the right. Yeah,
You know the deal.
Now, my sons eat that stuff. I don't need that stuff. But, no, I grab the chicken parm, I cut it up into small pieces, spritz it with a little bit of olive oil, put it in the air fryer, and they think you're a chef.
All right, Daniel, we're gonna put you on. I'm gonna put you on hold, and we're gonna give us your email. All right.
Put me on hold. I'll give you my information, and you can feel free to give me a call.
All right,
and I'll set them up.
Thank you.
Can you put
Appreciate
him
it.
on hold there, Jeff?
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel.
Wow.
You ask, you receive.
The love of Boston and just New England in general.
Well, it's just the other thing too is if somebody's willing to help you, you know, you gotta. Jeff, you want to grab that, bro? I'm sorry, I don't know how to put anybody on hold anymore. I don't know what happened with that, but you know what I will say too is you need. This is like when I bring up the car business, like looking for a car. Mm-hmm. You got to drive. It's like dating. You got to drive a lot of different cars to find out which car you want to buy. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what car you want to buy now. It's the same thing. Now you got to price shop. It's like you got to find out, like, what do you feel good? Do you like who you're going with? They're going to give you the band.
Yes.
They got to cover it with a warranty. Can they get it cleaned when they want? There's a lot going on there.
I don't want to be taken advantage of.
Nope.
I really don't.
And I would like to just say one more time that, we do work in the radio business. We do this because we love this.
Yes.
we couldn't be doing if we loved money, we could be doing a lot of other things. So just remember, if he's talking about a ring, don't see money.
Exactly.
This is about love.
This is about love. Yes, it is.
This is about love.
Yeah.
This ain't so if you're like out there on the ring, hey, call me. Like, just remember, you're doing my man a solid.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a solid too, because Leroy going to tell everybody to call you after that.
Oh boy,
everyone's going to be like, Leroy, I need the Leroy discount.
Good stuff. Thanks to the people. Appreciate you.
Wow. We're 40 minutes down already, man.
Oh yeah.
Stop being scared of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I like the other game.
Like some of y'all need to stop being scared of marriage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta lock it up.
You just gotta lock it down.
Think about how happy they are, and then they post it and tell all their friends.
Right.
And it's like, and then you're the man when you get a good ring.
Yeah.
They'll call you. They'll be like, Leroy, you did a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
And then their friends will be like, I didn't really like you, but now I do.
Can I just tell you? Can I give you a comparison for the Chiefs on why people can't stand them or may be scared? LeBron James. And I know we're not supposed to cross sports. It's the same thing. And what I mean by that is the media. And we're part of the media. But nationally, you don't want them to force feed you that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest of all time. Especially when logically you're looking at it and you're saying he's a great quarterback, but how are you just pushing our guy Tom Brady to the side? He has 7.
He's in your face. This is my thing is, I know what you mean about the 7. Why are you scared? Like, do you think Troy Aikman thinks differently about his 3 Super Bowls that once Tom Brady do you think that Joe Montana looks at it as though, Brady passed me, I guess I suck? No. You get, like you said, the Cowboys fans still talk about 49ers fans have gone twice and lost.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think about it. Like, do you just diminish people winning championships just because Mahomes could win 3 in a row or whatever? No. And congratulations to the Chiefs if they do win 3 in a row. I still think, though, once Mahomes becomes 29, his contract becomes $40 million a year, Kelsey retires, they have all those draft picks that they've hit on that they have to actually pay.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder for them to stay competitive. Not to mention, this division just got Pete Carroll, right? You got Bo Nix in the division.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be a tough division going forward. This could be their last crack for a while.
Yeah.
Stop being scared.
Again, Joe, logically that makes sense. If more people in the media talked like you are right now, people wouldn't have a problem with it. They'd understand it. I'm telling you, Joe, a lot of fans just don't want to sit back and have to hear over and over again, nationally and even locally, that Patrick Mahomes is greater than Tom Brady. That's the conversation that would happen literally moments after the clock hits 0 if the Chiefs win.
This is what I would do, Leroy, for all you Patriots fans out there. Just, again, Patrick Mahomes hosted Tom Brady in a playoff, and what happened?
Oh, that's, yeah. But see how people forget? They just push it to the side.
When they actually met in a championship game.
Yeah. Brady put in that work. Pat's put in that work and won. Great game, too. Oh, that was so much fun.
Now, I'll give Mahomes a little bit of credit that he's never lost in regulation at home ever in the playoffs. But who did he lose to? What was the name again? Who's the guy he lost to?
Tom Brady.
And the who? The
New England Patriots. Yeah, I know.
Okay, just scoreboard.
That's great, but then that's why I'm telling you, fans say, well, how come they're not mentioning that on this national show or that show or this show?
Because it's to fit their narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
And it's aggravating.
All right. More. We don't do headlines on the weekends on the 30s, do we?
No.
All right, well, we're going to break. I'm Joe. He's Leroy here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub. 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 98.5 The
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Leroy Irvin is here. I'm Joe Murray. It's championship weekend. How do you feel about Josh Allen? Think he should have been the MVP this year?
Lamar Jackson's numbers are hard to just overlook. I mean, I think he was close to 1,000 yards running, over 4,000. That's tough. But Josh Allen, if he wins, I wouldn't be mad at that either. What I really enjoy about Josh Allen this season is that he's done a phenomenal job at taking care of the football. That was one of the things that you would point to when talking about Josh Allen in the past. Like, yeah, he's great. He's mobile. But he's going to turn the ball over at some point. And I got to give him credit. He's done a really good job at taking care of the ball. Also, I got to give him credit because a lot of players with his type of talent think they are the business and believe that it's all about them and they will carry the load. But he's trusted the run game of the Bills, too. He's part of the run game, but he's trusted those running backs. I got to give him credit. He's shown some maturity this year that you can't help but praise.
I don't think we have ever seen a quarterback in the league do what Josh Allen has done. I don't think there's been, like we talked about great quarterbacks. I think Mahomes, realistically, with his arm strength, footwork, ability, size, etc., I don't think the league has ever seen a quarterback like that. Now, we've seen like Elway, strong arms, Dan Marino type pocket guys, smooth guys like Joe Montana, and guys that were coached up to become the greatest of all time like Tom Brady. I mean, there just are some guys that have it. Josh Allen is a wrecking ball. He is a wrecking ball. And quite frankly, when things get tough, they keep it in his hands, and he always prevails.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
I don't think there's a comp to him. Like, I don't think we could, Steve Young had ability, but it wasn't a wrecking ball like Josh Allen. Can you remember a type of quarterback who could literally take over the game by just running the ball? I mean, Cam Newton was a force. And never, Josh Allen is a better accurate passer than Cam Newton ever was.
Right.
Cam Newton was a big boy and just had the ability and I got to a Super Bowl, was an MVP. I actually might look up his season versus Josh Allen's during the break just to. My point is, I don't know if we've ever seen a comp to Allen. And when things get tough, third down, they go to him. Fourth, the QB sneak, right? Like, he can get out of the pocket and throw the deep ball. Not to mention, they took away his best receiver this year.
Yeah, see.
And everyone has grown around him. They brought in a rookie on the outside. Khalil Shakir has taken the next step after developing. James Cook has turned into a baller. I mean, Dalvin Cook's brother, he's playing like him now. So, when I think of him as like the next guy. But, just to throw this out there, if you look at it, he beat Lamar Jackson. He beat Phillip Rivers. You want to know the other quarterbacks he's played, though?
Cool.
Mac Jones.
Okay, yeah.
Skylar Thompson. Mason Rudolph. Bo Nix. He has beat Jackson twice, though. So, Allen gets... But you know who he's lost to? Patrick Mahomes 3 times. He loses again today? I don't know. I think he takes a peg down.
Really? See,
you have to be good quarterbacks. And
that's true.
You can't be considered one of the best when you lose. You beat the Skylar Thompsons and Mac Joneses and Bo Nix, whatever. But then you can't beat Patrick Mahomes. To me, he goes down a peg. And really, when you look at Mahomes, who's he lost to? Brady twice.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow, who was playing at a Jaden Daniels level, if you really want to look at it. Remember, win the national championship, second year Super Bowl. He doesn't win today. I put him on a board where he's a great quarterback, but can he beat great quarterbacks?
So for you, in the beginning you mentioned, MVP, and I said Lamar Jackson. I think it's a little either way it could go. But it sounds like part of your reason that you're praising Josh Allen is because the lack of talent surrounding him, and somehow they're still able to get it done. If I'm wrong, correct me. But then in the same breath, I want to know, Joe, if they lose to the Chiefs, I feel like you're going to hear people say, well, it's not really Josh Allen. They have to surround him with better talent. They did phenomenal. They got to where they got. They got to the conference championship, but yeah, he's taking on too much of the responsibility. It's too much on him. He needs better talent around him. I can hear people say that if he were to lose. I don't think that would, if they lose, I don't see them dropping him a peg down and saying, he's not that great. They're going to find excuses and reasons on why it didn't work out this season. And to be honest, Joe, I hate the Chiefs, but since the beginning of the season, the Chiefs have just had something special going on with them. I can't really explain it. It's reminiscent of what the Patriots used to have.
It's the magic dust.
They got the touch. So, I don't know. I don't see if the Bills lose. Josh Allen still did a phenomenal job. He did a great job becoming a quarterback that can take care of the ball, which we would get on him about years past, seasons past. I wouldn't knock him down if they lose. Not at all. Depending on how it goes. Now, if he shows up and he turns back into old Josh Allen and they're moving the ball, he ends up throwing 2-3 picks and looking like, and not trusting the running game, then I'll say, okay, all right, fine. In the big game, in the big moment, he failed. And then maybe. But if he plays pretty much the same way he's played all season long and they lose, I can't knock him.
Brings up another thing. Since you and I have last worked together, a lot has happened with the New England Patriots. And, it looks like they're going with a defensive-minded head coach. You have a defensive-minded head coach in Sean McDermott today going up against an offensive-minded Andy Reid.
Yep.
And if you look at Washington, defensive-minded head coach. I don't know what you want to call Nick Sirianni, but a lot of pressure on that guy today. But is it offense or defense? Is that because if the Chiefs win today, it's their defense. We'll get into this. Think about this during the break.
Okay.
I see guys lined up in the phones. We'll go to you as well. But if you also want to look in the AFC East, look at all those defensive coaches as well now.
Okay.
Defensive-minded coaches, offensive-minded strong offensive coordinators. What have the Patriots done? I'm going to tie it all together for you. In hour number 2, he's Leroy. I'm Joe here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Scoring the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for Championship Sunday. They brought in the big guns. Natural born
That's
killers.
right. And I need the Bills. See, the Bills, the players are too young. They're too young to understand this song right here. But if they knew what this song meant and they came out to this.
Well, it meant a lot, actually, if you think about it. We all know about NWA.
Yeah.
Basically, Ice Cube quit on them. Good friend of the show, The Night Show. My good friend.
That's right. I heard him
Ice
in the
Cube.
drop. Yeah.
He left the band. One of his famous lines in the song No Vaseline, which I got to keep very clean. He dropped 4 dudes. Now he's making all the dough.
All the dough.
And he went on his own while NWA slowly broke up.
Mm-hmm.
Then came The Chronic. And then in 1995, I believe Ice Cube and Dr. Dre reunited with Natural Bone Killers.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on at that time. Like, I think did Tupac just get out of jail at that point, too? Because he did California Love.
Yep. Around that time.
Out on bail, bust out of jail.
Yeah. California Dreaming.
And I think Snoop was still with Death Row and made The Dogfather at that time. No?
No.
Like, what was that? What album was that for Tupac? Was that All Eyes on?
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
Yes.
That was Death Row, right?
Yes, that was
because
Death
that was
Row.
Suge Knight,
who
seems to be the voice of reason these days. I have no clue how that happened.
What from
this
him?
man is in jail?
Oh yeah, I listened.
And
to
is
that.
breaking up rap beefs.
Yeah,
and calling out Diddy.
Yeah, I listen to that podcast all the time. It is okay. I just got to say this. Whatever dreams you have out there, people, just do it. Don't worry about the quality in the beginning. Because the quality of that podcast, sound quality, is trash. It is trash.
Well, he's in jail.
But even the stuff around him.
Jail? You think jail gonna have good podcast equipment?
Joe, you need to listen. It is, forget his audio. I'm talking about just everything surrounding it. The guy interviewing is so boring. It's so monotone. It's bad. But his content, I'm talking about Suge Knight, what he's saying is really, really compelling, and that's what makes it.
I think he is a horrible human being. But man, he stopped the Drake beef with Kendrick Lamar, who we'll see in 2 weeks, right?
We'll see at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Who else is I saw? Is it SZA?
SZA. Yep.
Might need a education on some of the other cast that will be. God, I like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's very good. And I'm bringing up Compton. You know, he's a big Dr. Dre protege.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah.
So I'm just curious who else is going to be there. You know, SZA, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like all I know these days is Jelly Roll. This is how I know I'm getting older. Jelly Roll is in Shabuzi, right?
Jelly Roll, who, by the way, have you heard the new Snoop album?
I did with Tom Petty, and it's Last Dance with Mary Jane. Yeah, I heard it. It's called.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, so you like that song?
I love that song. When Jelly Roll comes on there and he's starting all. Man, please stop. I love it.
I think it's called Missionary.
Yeah, that's the name of the album.
Yeah.
There's a harmonica in the song.
And I don't know. I wonder if they had to pay Tom Petty for some of those rights there. Have you heard that yet, Jeff? You heard this song? I don't know how clean it is. I don't know if it's something that we could play over the air. But when I first heard it, I bobbed my head.
I did too.
And then when I said, Alexa, play blank, I didn't like it the next time.
Really?
I have this thing about, I loved Metallica, but when they keep making new music and it sucks, I'm like, all right, guys, you can stop now. Yeah. But I'll always love Metallica. But like when I hear Dre rap, sometimes I don't feel the same rhythm. You know Eminem's the worst, by the way. I know we've had our debates about Eminem versus Jay-Z, which I still lean Eminem. But when Eminem raps now, it's all about when I saw you, and then my kid, and then my mama's dead. And it's just like, what happened to the old guy that was a storyteller?
Yeah. It's missing. The passion isn't there.
Well, speaking of storytellers, Robert Kraft hired Mike Vrabel. We were here. We were live on the air when Gerard Mayo got fired, which, by the way, swept under the rug. And I have been very vocal on the night show about how that thing just got right under there.
Sure did.
And, go
that
ahead.
night, I think you're right, because I'm saying also, how come we haven't heard from Mayo? And you said, he probably won't, because he probably had to sign. What did you say?
NDA, yeah. So, there's always stuff floating out, There's always stuff floating. But at this point, they've hired Gerard Mayo. There's still
Vrabel.
I also said Drake May, Mac Jones a couple of times. So it's like when you're so used to complaining about it that you go back to the old ways.
It's all good.
So Mike Vrabel's the head coach. I don't love the move, but I get it. Like, you're going to bring in someone that the organization needs stability.
Yeah.
So I wanted the young offensive mind. You know what I really just wanted? Forget about who. Just wanted a real process. Just wanted a real process. Like right now, the Saints don't have a coach. And guys are falling off the board. And it's like the Cowboys just hire Schottenheimer, and like he's failed everywhere as an offensive coordinator. Oh, so he just deserves the head coaching job? Like, I just really, like, Washington really went through a process last year. New ownership, new coach. But it worked, right? It worked for them. They got the defensive-minded head coach, and they brought in the Cliff Kingsbury, who failed as an offensive coordinator, to go with the rookie young quarterback. It's worked. Are you noticing the model that the Patriots are going after?
Right.
The defensive-minded head coach bringing back Josh McDaniels, who has failed 3 times elsewhere, and will now try to do it without Brady or Belichick, with the young quarterback in Drake May. But as I brought up, is it safer for these teams to just hire the defensive coordinator as the head coach or the defensive-minded guy? Because if the offense stinks, they just move on to the next offensive coordinator. But it's all over the league now.
Yeah.
Like this defensive-minded with the offensive coordinator. We just saw Bobby Slowick get fired in Houston. Sounds like Chip Kelly could be coming in, who just won a national championship, by the way, with Ohio State. But they're trying to bring the Ohio State to C.J. Stroud. These defensive-minded head coaches, I don't love the idea of it. So that's why I think a lot's on the line today for Sean McDermott, because here he is, this defensive-minded head coach going up against Andy Reid. But I think it's the Chiefs' defense. If they do go to the Super Bowl, that's the reason why.
Sitting here writing notes while you were talking, and the more I think about it, I'm starting to wonder if the personality traits typical of a defensive-minded person is what's attracting to these teams. And what I mean by that is, Joe, let's be honest. A lot of players today, younger players, it's very hard to get through to them. And if you look at the Patriots, one of the things that everybody's been talking about was that the team needed discipline. And so for me, I'm looking, all right, well, maybe it's a defensive-minded thing. Defensive-minded players who are now coaches tend to be a little bit more strict. I could be wrong. I'm just saying. Tend to be a little bit more strict, have know how to discipline, and maybe that's the thing. And maybe that's why the trend is happening. I really don't know. But we do know that throughout not just football, but sports, disciplining young players is an issue, and it's needed. I just saw, who was it? Oh, I just saw a basketball coach, college basketball coach.
Yeah, he benched the player for not performing because of his NIL deal.
And then went post-game.
Rick Barnes.
And just threw. You talk about throwing a team under the bus.
No, I'm actually glad he did that, believe it or not.
I am too, even though Gerard Mayo got criticized for calling his team soft. He called his team soft. He said they are entitled and all that. The only reason why I'm bringing that up, even though it's a different sport, is that's a glimpse into the mindset of a lot of players today. College, pro, it doesn't matter. And so that brings me back to why I believe defensive-minded players probably tend to be a little bit more tougher and organizations are looking and saying, hey, we need some form of discipline. I know it didn't work out with Gerard Mayo, so that's why I can't say it happens with all defensive-minded players, but maybe that's it. And then on the offensive side, you bring in the coordinators to take care of that stuff. And so maybe that's why that's the trend.
Sean checking in on Twitter. Don't you think defensive head coaches get a longer rope than offensive ones? Coaches usually are fired because of the offense. So if you have a defensive head coach, you can fire the OC, giving the head coach a second chance, longer to build their program, more successful. I do agree. Houston's a great example. Here's one I wanted to just mention here quickly, because I do want to get your thoughts on McDaniels coming back. We'll do that on the other side, but just look at the AFC East now. It's McDermott, Aaron Glenn comes in, defense, right? Mike Vrabel's here now. And then there's Mike McDaniel in Miami with Tua. Is this now the way? Because people pushed Bill Belichick out, right? Do you feel like the league pushed him out?
Yes.
But a lot of it was, these defensive coaches anymore, and then Pete Carroll gets a job. So you see, Pete Carroll got a job at 73, bro.
Yeah, but listen, are you connecting some dots? Something?
Yeah, I'm connecting the dots that Bill burned bridges and probably doesn't have a place.
And
the Cowboys, he ended up taking the contract with North Carolina. The Cowboys were right there for him.
Joe, I think it goes right back to what I was saying about the players. Obviously, Bill Belichick, great coach, perhaps the greatest of all time. I think there's a thin line between disciplinary and going over the top.
So you're saying discipline?
Yeah, I think that's what went. Pete Carroll, older, but he's not Bill Belichick in that area. He's more of a lighthearted, you might forget how old he is.
Especially when he was in New England.
Yes.
Those were some big Willie McGinnis, right? These were some big lawyer Malloy, Ty Law. These were big personalities.
Right.
And they kind of needed that defensive-minded check. Belichick worked out, right? They won a championship years later.
Right.
I'm just saying that, when you go with the looser guy, things get loose. Yeah. Like the Patriots did.
And I think they went too loose. And I think the people that you are mentioning, and maybe the league is trending towards finding a better balance between not being so old school, but having a little bit of it. A lot of teams probably are looking and saying, man, we went a little bit too far to the left, and we're very, very loose, and it's not working. We need some type of structure. You said it in the beginning of the conversation. Yeah, you're not a huge fan of Vrabel, but it does bring what? Stability. That's what it is. And Bill Belichick, I'm shocked he's not in the league coaching, especially when you see Pete Carroll gets another chance. But again, Pete Carroll is more of a player's coach than Bill will ever be. And it's just that time in the NFL history. We're in a day where, you know what, as great as he is, how you deal with players really, really matters. And it's just a thin line. There's a really thin line between teaching discipline and then losing players. And I think Bill is just too far to the right of that part, and it just won't work anymore. Well, all the other players, and Vrabel is yet to be seen, but all those other coaches that you mentioned, they kind of have a better balance of that, in my opinion.
All right, let's take a couple of calls here. We're here on the Sports Hub. We're here till 2. Steve is in Salem. Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to talk about the Patriots' approach with free agency. I think like most people, I was really hoping that the Patriots would go after T. Higgins because that was the obvious big name. But now, since they've hired McDaniels, I've kind of rethought about that and just how the Patriots' offense will look, going forward. I think the better approach would be to target Cooper Kupp and have him kind of be that Edelman type slot receiver. And then the best thing to do in the draft would be to find the next Cooper Kupp type player.
All right, appreciate it. Let's get into that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Let's bookmark that. I have real takes on Josh McDaniels, I want to get yours because I've been spitting fire on this thing for a couple of days now. Mark is in Framingham. Hey, Mark.
Hey, I just wanted to bring up, you were talking about the skills between Brady and Mahomes, and you brought up arm power. And Brady and Mahomes are like right there, 2 and 3 in top fastest passes in the league. But then I also want to make the comparison. The Bills are almost like the Colts to the Patriots, is Chiefs right now at this point. Allen's Manning. He hasn't won one yet.
Well,
he might.
Allen's Phillip Rivers right now needs to win today.
Okay, yeah,
Manning.
Phillip Rivers, and then I was going to say Joe Burrow's Phillip Rivers, but like in the hierarchy.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I'm just not ready to put Allen on that next level yet.
Yeah, but in the hierarchy of the league in the AFC, the AFC had them. Who would you say the Drew Brees is in the AFC then?
I'll think about that one, Mark. I love a good comparison. Has anybody won? It's not Stafford.
Not Stafford.
right? Like, is there even an NFC comparison? I mean, Nick Foles won a championship. The NFC has struggled in that point. Like, Breeze is a wild card diamond. Speaking of diamonds. Hey, Don and Carver, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, Whisperer, buddy. How are you, Joe?
How you doing?
I heard my son had a nice conversation with you yesterday.
I met Don and Carver's kid at the card show. I did a card show yesterday. And listen,
let me ask you, Joe. You guys might have gone through this, but you're talking about a nationwide representative of sports journalism, if you want. It's kind of Reagan journalism with Stephen A. Smith. But Stephen A. Smith comes out and says, hey, if he wins 3 in a row, Mahomes, then he's the greatest football quarterback in the history of the National Football League. What planet Zippy? Either I come off of it or he came off of it. It's such a ridiculous comment, and I don't know. I don't understand where it came from. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
It's all recency, Don. I appreciate your call. It's all recency. It's what they know. It's what the most recent thing is. 3 in a row, I believe, and I'm pretty sure it's never been done, right? 3 in a row?
Can't think of any off the top of my head, no.
So, like, Mahomes probably is deserving of having some sort of only one to do it. It's just that, to me, to be greatest of all time, you got to have the most. Like, Montana was always number one. Always. Until when? Brady passed him.
Yep.
Michael Jordan will always be number one. Right? Always.
To some.
Has LeBron won more championships than Michael Jordan?
No.
Then he's not.
I know, but that's why I mentioned LeBron earlier is the only comparison in sports when it comes to Mahomes and
it's the only comparison.
How the media treats them. And I told you how that last caller, that's how fans feel. They know you're right, Joe. They know what you're saying makes sense. How come the rest of the nation doesn't know that?
All right, we'll take a quick break. We're a little late. I'm Joe Murray, listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Kick off the new year with $2,025 off.
Back here in 98.5 The Sports Hub. Leroy Irvin's here. I'm Joe Murray. It's Championship Sunday, everybody. Jeff Williams. Got Jake back there. He's feeling it.
Jake?
Oh, you're feeling it. The song.
You said Jake.
Oh, yeah, Jake's back there, yeah.
Jake who?
Jake Seymour is his last name.
Jake the Snake.
Oh!
Seymour. Come on, Joe. Come
on. By the way, Saturday night's main event last night. Jeff, I don't know if you saw it, dude.
I saw a couple clips. I didn't see it in its entirety.
I watched it. That might have been the best non-pay-per-view of the year. And I know we're in January. That was great.
They're really going all out on these Saturday night's main events, which is awesome.
Dude, if you are just a casual sports fan and you see Pat McAfee, Joe Tessitore, Jesse the Body Ventura, you know all these people, right? You know, like, Medusa's there, and, like, Mark Henry's there, and, like, you know all these people. Shawn Michaels comes out, right? The Kevin Owens, Cody thing, I'm telling you right now, I'm starting to turn a little bit here, but I'm rooting for Kevin Owens. He has gone so heel. Like, who would you say is, like, the best heel in wrestling right now? MJF sometimes is a really good heel, but, like, is he mainstream enough for me to, like, watch every promo? No, I don't see it all the time. When I think heels, Kevin Owens right now might be the best. And then there's always the anti-hero, like the anti-heel, the guy that you like but still heel. Like, is Gunther a heel?
No, he's absolutely. They're definitely turning him babyface.
But this Kevin Owens, you know who Kevin Owens is, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, he took the old wing belt, winged eagle belt, and he considers himself the real champion. So he's gone everything old school now. He's wearing, like, last night, the old Terry Funk used to be Dusty Sucks Eggs.
Yeah.
Instead, it was Cody Sucks Eggs. Like, he is just anything he can do to just use, like, an old reference to now.
Yeah.
Like, the son of a plumber was the big Dusty thing.
Yep.
Kevin Owens comes out with son of a micro, a software salesman or whatever. It's just so funny. But last night he does this huge promo and Shawn Michaels is there, sexy boy, sexy boy. And he goes, man, you just sound like you're jealous. And he tried to powerbomb him. I'm spoiling alert. But, and then he got the old sweet chin music.
That, yeah.
And he sold it.
Yeah.
But, like, we got ourselves a heel. Was Jake the Snake a heel?
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can thump your Bible.
Ultimate Warrior.
You can thump your Bible. But Stone Cold 316 says, I just whipped your ass.
What? Look at you.
See, you played a wrestling music song, and now I've completely derailed.
Oh, my God.
What do you think of Josh McDaniels coming back for hang on, 1, 2, third run after nobody in the league wanted to interview him. Not one team asked to interview Josh McDaniels, a man that was fired for the third time.
Yeah.
Once in Denver, once with the offensive coordinator for the Rams, and just fired because they absolutely hated his guts with the Raiders. Yeah. They smoked cigars after the game, if you remember. Like, Devontae Adams 2 weeks ago said that he runs one of the hardest offenses in football, that only a great quarterback can run it. And I don't even know if Mike Vrabel... Again, there's source wars. Yeah, I love a good source war. But some people say it's not a Kraft hire. Some people say Vrabel wanted him. I don't know where to stand on it. All I can tell you is this. Here's my hot take for the day. I was going to save this for tomorrow night, but you know what? Special day, Championship Sunday. I'm with you.
Right.
If the Patriots turn it around offensively, it's because of Drake May, not Josh McDaniels.
Really?
I said it.
Wow.
It's the quarterbacks that make the offensive coordinators. It's not the offensive coordinators that make the quarterbacks.
Wow. So then what was the problem this past season? If it's truly about the quarterback, so you're saying that Drake May will take a step and become,
I think Drake May's going to take
guy.
a step forward because he's Drake May.
Yeah. Okay. See, to me, the whole Josh McDaniels thing felt like a panic move. It does bring stability, and I think that's what the Crafts want, point blank period. To me, it lacks creativity. You talked about the process earlier. It's just borderline lazy. It was an easy thing to do. That's what we want. That's what everybody's familiar with. We're going to go with that and just keep it pushing. So they're going to be much better than this past season, and so that's obviously a plus. But as far as the future and really showing, like, putting in the work to really go through the process, and it doesn't feel that way. And again, it lacks creativity to me.
How about the money?
That's another.
Do you know how much money Josh McDaniels makes per season not to coach? $10 million. So the Patriots can just hire him.
Yep.
Now, this was reported. This isn't a Joe take. But found out, Phil Perry reported this, that last year, Alex Van Pelt, when he was fired from the Browns, still was making money from them. Well, to become the Patriots offensive coordinator, they also kicked in just under $3 million. So last year, Alex Van Pelt was a top 10 paid offensive coordinator in the league.
Lord have mercy. And then so
now we're just supposed to accept that Josh McDaniels is coming back and everything's going to be fine, and that his ego, along with Mike Vrabel's ego, is just going to work, and that, yes, they're going to pay him probably $2 million and $8 million will be from the Raiders. Like, maybe that's how they balance it to make it look good. Mm-hmm. It's just, he's never been successful without Brady and or Belichick. Mm-hmm. So if you use the Mac Jones year on me, I will eliminate it, because who was here? Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
He has never, ever been successful. Not when he's been in New England. He's always here with Belichick or Brady. Mm-hmm. Anytime he's been without them, I just can't sit here and tell you it's a home run hire. I don't think it's a bad, like, horrible hire or anything like that. But we've talked about a few things today. Have they developed wide receivers over the years?
No.
Do you think Josh McDaniels attributed to that?
Yeah, he played his role, yeah.
So everything's just going to be fine hiring Mike Vrabel, who got fired, by the way. Mm-hmm. Fired because he sucked. But he's going to come back and things are going to be great. And Josh McDaniel, who nobody wanted, is going to be the offensive coordinator. Everything's great. I question everything the Crafts do. Everything. Because they're the ones making the decisions. Gerard Mayo. Do people even bring this up anymore, that he hired Gerard Mayo and Robin Glazier was here, who had to resign? Like, those were the decisions from him. And now his decisions are Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, and comfort is going to fix everything?
Took it right out of, comfort. That's what it's all about. The storm, the fire that was this past season was way out of control. And now it's just like, how do we just calm everything down, put a smile on the fans' faces, help us feel at ease about the direction? It doesn't mean it's going to be absolutely positive and that we're going to go to the next level and be a contender or anything like that. But how do we just calm things down and bring comfort back to this organization? And that's what it is. And that's why I said earlier, it feels like it lacks creativity.
If it works, I will congratulate Robert Kraft on making another great decision.
Right.
But right now, it's suspect. The jury's out.
Yeah.
When the news broke that Josh McDaniels was coming back and going to be the offensive coordinator, my very first thing I said was, can these two actually coexist together?
These two as in Vrabel
and
okay, got you.
Like, Vrabel's a big personality, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is just... I dare you to go back and watch some of the things that happened with the Raiders with him. Like, he lost to Jeff Saturday, who was literally like an analyst on ESPN, coached the Colts, and beat Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. Just literally got off a set and said, I'm going to coach the Colts. and beat Josh McDaniels. Like, this is the guy that you're going to literally give the next 4 years of Drake May's career to? People will tell you, look what he did with Jimmy J. No. Take any Patriot he ever worked with out of it. How'd he do with Kyle Orton and Tim Tebow and Sam Bradford and Derek Carr? How'd he do with those guys? I in a way, if this thing works, it's because of Drake May, not because of Josh McDaniels.
I see what you're saying. But they also, I would say this, Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, they have to be able to work together. Because, be honest, I think Vrabel's coaching career and Josh McDaniels, if he even has a chance of ever being a coach, but his offensive coordinator career, they're all on the line. People are going to be watching. If you fail here, they might not get another chance anywhere else either. So you have to work together. You got to make sure it works together. You got to put your egos to the side, your pride to the side, and they have to work together, Joe.
Someone says, typical 98.5 trash take. But it's just that, people think that when you're a fan of the team and you're critical, people just don't like it.
They don't like it, yeah.
And someone did ask, hey, Joe, what would have to happen for you to say, I was wrong about Josh and Mike? Is it the eye test? What I would look at is the two biggest issues for the Patriots have been defense and offensive line.
Yep.
I didn't even bring up wide receiver. I might have chirped on that one a little bit there. But how's Josh McDaniels going to fix the offensive line? Does his game plan and his timing routes and all of those things, how do those work when you don't have an offensive line? So for the people, again, that want to say, look what he did with the Patriots had great offensive lines. Like, the offensive, if Vrabel's going to fix the defense with money, because it hasn't been the draft, let me tell you that much. Like, why can't you be critical of these moves?
Right.
It's not just fine. Vrabel's here, McDaniel's here. Should we just not talk about it anymore?
Yeah. Because when you're critical, you're stepping on the emotions of people concerning the past. That's what it is. You can't step on the emotions. They're feeling happy. They got a smile on their face. And Joe, can I add a third thing to the list that if I see it, I'll smile and be like, you know what? They did a good job. Player development.
Oh my God! Right?
If
have they had really any?
Right. If we see that, then you know what? I salute. Hats off to them. They did a phenomenal job.
That was the number one thing for me this year with Mayo. I hated the Mayo hire. Despised it. But I thought it was more important to see progression from him. But Drake May was what the rule was. They didn't want him to play this year. They want him to develop. They didn't want him to start. That's why they went through the Brissett experiment. He showed signs. It also showed that they were idiots for not playing him early on.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Didn't it show that? So was it a craft movement to not play Drake May right away? Because if that was the case, another blister for them. If they're good next year, they show that they can get back to their roots of having a good offensive line and play good defense, I will tip my cap for the moves.
Yeah.
In player development and drafting.
Yeah.
But, if they go next year 7-9 and competed and looked like they were improving, I'll tip my cap. But year 2 will be very important. Like, Vrabel's walking into a mess right now. He was great turning around the Titans, who were in a mess. He turned that team around, got them to an AFC championship game. This is now him inheriting something else. I can at least say that he's had success inheriting a team and turning it around. Can he do it with the Patriots?
Yeah.
Can he do it with ownership that hasn't spent money? With the drafting been terrible. And now he's got his buddy, Josh McDaniels, with him, who he picked up Mike at the airport. You hear that?
I also think people are looking at last season's results, this past season's results, which were terrible. And when they see the hirings, they're like, man, it's an upgrade. And yes, it is. It's obviously an upgrade. It is. And there does seem to be some stability. But that's not enough for me to just automatically give them a pass. I want to see, I'm not saying that they should be in the playoffs, but if they're right there, then I'll be like, you know what? If they're close, if they just, if they miss by 2 games, okay. then my hat's off to them. Salute, because everyone's talking as if this is the greatest thing to happen, and it just might be. But we have to see it first, man. We haven't seen it in a while, and we haven't seen it without, like you said, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, especially when it comes to Josh McDaniels.
Mike's in Woburn. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Mike, how are you, buddy?
I'm surviving. First of all, congratulations, Leroy.
Appreciate it.
I wish you luck in your search for a ring. I wish I could give you advice. I'm 26 years into my deal, so I think I would be like telling you how to buy a Model T. So good luck.
Thank you.
You compare. You want to compare Mahomes among the all-time greats, and I feel like you can't compare any quarterbacks among the all-time greats today. And I think one of the reasons why Troy Aikman got so mad on that broadcast the other day was, people have said, like, oh, it's jealousy because he can't do what Mahomes is doing. And it's not in terms of accomplishments. It's in terms of not getting the double-digit concussions that Aikman had during his career. That's what I think,
agree.
Troy is really upset about, because he sees guys today, A, not being protected in the pocket like he was not, and B, weaponizing those rules to become offensive threats. Like, I'm sorry. If Patrick Mahomes tried to do the sideline, like, ooh, look, I'm almost out of bounds thing, and Ronnie Lott or Steve Atwater was there, they're spreading his ashes above the field like Bump Bailey in The Natural. Like, he's getting murdered, that stuff can't happen. And if you look at quarterbacks in the past, if you want to compare guys, what would Randall Cunningham do today? What would Michael Vick do today? They'd be problems. You mentioned Steve Young earlier. Steve Young had a 70% completion rate for the year when you could wear guys like a flesh suit in the secondary. Like, today, Steve Young would be an absolute menace. I'm not talking about statistics that are compiled, but in terms of percentage stats, Steve Young is better than Mahomes. He had better completion rates. He was the same running quarterback when it was way more dangerous, and he could do everything, and he would thrive today in these rules where quarterbacks are protected. I don't think you can compare guys. And in terms of comparing Mahomes to Brady, why didn't Mahomes three-peat, when he won his first Super Bowl? Because he bookended around 2 Tom Brady losses. Brady, at the end of his career, beat Mahomes in his prime. You can't. That's a trump card that Brady will never relinquish.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah. Listen, in my opinion, I already put Brady Mahomes 1-2. Like, I've already done that. I think Mahomes' ability is. I've never seen anything like it. Never. But if they win this year, I do credit the defense, and that doesn't take away from Mahomes or anything. I just think that the way that they were built this year, their defense got them to where they are. Mahomes hasn't had a great year.
No, he hasn't.
Threw a lot of interceptions, turnovers. But you know what? Game on the line. He's been the guy.
They're there. Yeah.
You know who else has been? Josh Allen. It's gonna be a showdown.
Real quick, I agree with that caller. I think
that's Mike.
It all comes down to the game is just different, and it's so different that it's blatant. Like, you're not struggling to see the difference at all. It is so different, and that's why, for instance, I have I'm gonna say this. I have Dan Marino as like one of my top 5 quarterbacks. I'm pushing Super Bowls.
As far as but he was just dude, that dude couldn't move. But as a pocket presence,
yes,
he was like probably one of the best pocket passers in history.
And the reason why is because the game that he was playing in at the time, for him to put up those type of numbers, it's like, man, that was a bad boy. Could you imagine him in today's game? Unbelievable. That's why I have it. But yeah, the game is different. And it's blatant. It's not a secret.
I have another take on that. We got to hit the break. Whoa. Wow. Late. Leroy's here. I'm Joe on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening.
Noticing the chat today, huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm noticing the chat.
Yeah. There's a guy in there. His name is Josh. I'll give him a shout out. He says that all we do is complain about McDaniels and that we're Felger wannabes, which clearly I respect Mike Felger, and I think he does an absolutely excellent job, and he's the best in the business. But unfortunately, Leroy, I know what I am not. Yeah. And I am not that. But yeah, you see it there though, now, right?
Yeah, I see it there.
Usually it's pretty chill. Like when I'm here, it's chill. Now that you're here, has our opening conversation today? I know we got a minute here. Mm-hmm. Has our opening conversation gone viral? Has there been outreach?
Oh yeah, my phone is blowing up.
There's been outreach.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate the love. It does cause a little bit more confusion because there's so many. So now I got to sift through that to find out who to trust and who not to trust. But I do appreciate the love. I tell you, Boston's got love. New England has love. Despite what people may say, despite what Metcalf might think about New England. New England's it's a cool place to be, man. Deep down inside. People have a lot of love.
A lot of love. All right, we got 2 more hours to go. It's Championship Sunday. I think we should look into the games a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there is a potential new rule change ahead. I'll share that with you regarding the Mahomes stuff that maybe could be coming into play.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about some of the moves that happened in the NFL as well. Mookie Betts spoke this week about something that I think we should play. And then the Celtics won last night.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get your thoughts on them, too. Okay. But it's Championship Sunday, and everybody's ready for the games. We'll get into that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub. The Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
It's Championship Sunday. Leroy Irvin's here. Jeff Williams. Jake Seymour's here. They're already greasing the polls in Philadelphia.
Animals.
Which, if I was a Washington fan, that's those guys already thinking they're going to the Super
Win or
Bowl.
lose, they're going to be climbing polls. So, I mean, really just doing the due diligence show.
You know what, Jeff? You're probably right about that one. I think the Eagles are on watch today. If somebody goes, hey, Joe, who should I bet on for the game? My analysis would be that no team has ever done what Washington's trying to do today. Never. And any team that's been in the situation that the Eagles are in, meaning 3 straight games at home, all those teams win and cover in the spot. I think it's 1-5-1 in the last 7, I believe. So as far as betting goes, all the trends lean towards the Eagles. Everything. I think there's some issues with the Eagles. I did not like the way they ended the first half of that game. And I hated the way that they ended the game.
As far as what part?
Well, I mean, you go up double-digit points with Saquon Barkley's big run that should have closed the door.
Yep.
That should have been it.
Yeah.
But then they let the Rams hang around. Then Jalen Hurts has a hurt knee.
Mm-hmm.
They have to punt it away, and they have a shot to win the game down 6. Like, if it wasn't snowing, I think the Rams win. I really do.
But I think that's a big part. The snow, obviously, if you watch the game, it affected both teams. But I think the Eagles are just way too good, man.
Oh, I think the Eagles are awesome.
Yeah.
I think they're – but this is where I'm going with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Sirianni. The 2 coaches with the most pressure today are absolutely Sirianni and McDermott. Nick Sirianni was almost fired after going to a Super Bowl a year later. There were talks about moving on from him. There were problems with him. Hurts. Right? At times they weren't even talking together. I mean, A.J. Brown's trying to read books on the sideline to keep his head in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Their defensive line is a monster.
Right.
And I know that they have good secondary players, and I know a couple of guys are hurt. Washington is a story like we've never seen before. A rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels. Dan Quinn, who's been in big games like this. It's probably Cliff Kingsbury's probably really biggest game of his life as well. Terry McLaurin, look what he has done with an actual quarterback. He's had Sam Howell and the likes of whatever else they've had over the years. But to me, Leroy, there is no coach with more pressure on them today than Nick Sirianni. Ownership's watching. I don't think he gets fired if they lose or any of that. But, man, the way that they blew this, well, I guess they blew the Super Bowl, right, on the Juju Smith-Schuster call. I mean,
Pretty much,
you know?
yeah.
The way that they kind of handled that game, the lack of success a year ago, and the fact that they found Saquon Barkley this year, and he's just been outstanding.
Unbelievable.
I am rooting for Washington so hard today.
Same here. I want Washington.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
House money. Just challenge the hell out of that team because when it gets to crunch time, I honestly question Nick Sirianni. Do you think Jalen Hurts is the guy?
Yeah, I do. I do. Absolutely do.
The knee injury doesn't concern you?
A little bit. But he does factor into the run game too. But I believe if they trust the run game, they got to get more out of the passing game. But they could win if they just depend on the running game. I think they can get it done. The knee injury, obviously, it does. But what else have we heard? Have we heard anything else concerning his knee? Is he,
he was, barely practiced at some points this week.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, no, he's going to play.
Fine.
I know that.
He'll play. He's good to go.
Wow, it sounds like you like the Eagles.
I do. I don't want them to win. I want the Commanders. I just think it's a better story. It's cool to see a rookie quarterback lead his team to the Super Bowl. But, again, the Eagles just have they're loaded. You know, you talk about the defensive line, offensive line, the running game. They actually have wide receivers, so it's a little bit disappointing on how the passing game hasn't been that great, but it could show up at any moment. They're a fully loaded team. So I got the Eagles, plus I got family in Philadelphia who I don't feel like contacting and having to hear from them. But yeah, I want the Commanders, but it's the Eagles all day.
All right. Justin and Lynn. Justin.
Hey, Joe. This is Justin. I have some takes on the game today. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to probably win that game, even though I don't want them to. I just think they're going to probably win the game today, as much as I don't want them to. You know, I want the Bills, you know, to try to come out on top, but I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, Justin. Appreciate you, bro.
I'm with him too. I want the Bills to win. Can y'all, Buffalo, if you're out there, if you're listening, can you control the clock? Can you trust the run game, please? Can you not? You've done a great job of not turning the ball over. Please don't turn the ball over. Please no unnecessary penalties. The Chiefs don't need any extra help when it comes to that. Please. Please.
Speaking of that, for those complaining that Patrick Mahomes gets too many calls, relief could soon be on the way. NFL replay assist expected to expand this offseason into plays that could include the quarterback slide.
That's so it's different from the NFL.
Can I just real quick? I just want to remind everybody that I used to love Tom Brady. And after he got hit, he would run right up to a ref's face and be like, "He hit me," and cry. I shouldn't say cry. Yell for the flag.
Yeah.
When Brady got hit by Suggs one day and then pointed to him and the ref looked at him and threw the flag, I loved that. I love that.
Yeah.
What Patrick Mahomes does is kind of like he has the ability to deke you and then hey, he hit me.
He's also taking advantage knowing that he could get the call.
He's taking advantage of the rule.
Yeah, and that's the part that stinks.
The rule. Tom Brady did the same thing.
No, he didn't.
And I loved it.
No, he didn't.
I just told you what he did.
Yeah,
Tom Brady would point and be like, "That guy hit me," and they would throw a flag.
I don't remember Tom Brady.
Tom Brady begged for calls. So he didn't get them all. Not like Mahomes. Okay, if we're comparing the actual calls,
yeah,
Brady has definitely got a few in his day. Let's not be. And my thing is, it's not illegal. What Mahomes is doing, it's just manipulating the rule.
Yes.
Which is what the Patriots did for 25 years.
I know. But at least it seemed a little bit more, I don't know, it wasn't as blatant. I'm sorry. I think that play last week when Mahomes act like he flopped, I think that's the one right there that just threw me over the edge. I understand the other stuff to some degree, but that one right there, that had people in an uproar. And the reason why I said I'm shocked that the NFL is doing this, because I can't remember a time where a game happens and then the following week they make an announcement like, "Oh, yeah, we're going to pay closer attention to some certain things." Yeah, I'm good. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Bring the embellishment penalty to the NFL.
Yeah, they have it in the NBA.
Bring it here.
Yeah, the flopping stopped in the NBA.
Embellishment.
I'm in. But right now, the rule is what? I mean, they made rules regarding Patriots and receivers.
That's true. Yeah.
They made rules for hitting the quarterback low because of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Just don't sit here and tell me that Brady didn't do it. Actually, I think Brady did it better.
Ooh. You might have a point right there. And better means it's not as blatant.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah, like LeBron complains about calls. Remember the one in Boston years ago when Pat Beverly brought the camera out?
I was there at the game. It was unbelievable.
I mean, that was like, you didn't get the call, bro, because you're not the guy anymore. That's what happens when you're not the guy. Mahomes is the guy.
He's the guy.
LeBron was the guy. Like Jokic gets calls. Give you a triple-double a night, he gets the calls. Tatum's still trying to get the calls every night, complaining about it, right?
Yeah.
LeBron, I'll never forget that night. It was like he like. And by the way, I believe it was the same week as the Super Bowl week because LeBron cried about not getting the call in that Laker game.
Oh, he did more than cry.
And then when Juju Smith-Schuster got held in the Super Bowl, he wanted to complain that the refs need to do a better job. So the same guy that complained about that play was bitching about what happened in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. You think people feel vindicated? Those who complained and said the refs had too much of an influence on last week's game or just Chiefs games in general. And then you had others who called them crybabies and stuff like that. You think there's a little bit of vindication with the NFL coming out with this now? It's got to be.
I think that they want to prevent people from manipulating the rules. Remember the Bill Belichick used, then Mike Vrabel used it on him? They got rid of that.
Got rid of it, yeah.
They cater to gamesmanship a lot. You know, what's unwritten and what's not. It's those are real things. Mark's in Medford. Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Good.
So I got one thing for each game. I think if let Saquon Barkley get all the yards he wants in between the 20-yard lines, because after that, as far as what I've seen from the receivers from Philadelphia, if you can contain Saquon Barkley today, you win the game. And on the other game, if I was Buffalo, I would just blitz Mahomes all day long. And that's it. Just keep sending the kitchen sink at him.
Only problem is Mahomes is really, really good. And if, he's going to adjust. And if if there's a screen or something and the speed that they have, you could be in trouble. You could be in trouble. And the other part, Joe, that is really ticking me off, and I hope the Bills do a really good job at this today. Please, Travis Kelce is a Hall of Famer. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. How in the world, on third downs and fourth, how is he wide open? How?
Should I remind you of a trade that happened on draft night? The Chiefs and the Bills made a trade on draft night. I was with Barth, who was on earlier today. I see walking around the building. It's Championship Sunday, and Barth has been here since like 6 o'clock this morning.
He's working.
Is he still? He's still here?
He's going through like draft guys. It's great.
Dude, it's Championship Sunday. He's like locked in. What's he going to do during the bye? Oh, he's going to the Senior Bowl. Of course he is. Dude loves football. But when I was with him that night, we go, did the Chiefs and Bills just make a trade? So the Chiefs ended up getting Xavier Worthy, like the fastest guy in the league.
Exactly.
And the Bills got Keon Coleman, who's been all right. He's still a rookie. He's fine. But, like, here they are now. Like, the Chiefs don't fear the Bills because they'll trade up and get the guy that they want. It is stop being scared of the Chiefs because the Patriots are ahead of them. I'm just saying the Chiefs right now, if they're going to win today, it's defense. But when the last caller said blitz, 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 and you went, they need to be careful, the defense has carried the Chiefs this year. What if today it's a Patrick Mahomes coming out party?
Oh, my God. Don't say that.
The Bills' defense gives up points.
Yeah.
They gave up points last week.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't shoot yourself in the foot. Again, so we haven't even mentioned the referee part as far as...
Oh, Clete Blakeman.
Right, so the ref...
Is he the new Scott Foster?
I don't know, but that is a huge factor in a lot of people's eyes. The refs. Okay, fine, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Bills, you've been pretty good with turnovers. Don't turn over the ball. And please be locked in and focused so that penalties aren't giving the Chiefs another chance after chance after chance. They're already going to get some stuff that's going to be questionable. We've seen it throughout the entire season. If you can play clean football, the Bills have a chance. They absolutely have a chance at beating the Chiefs. But, man, I don't know. I feel like we all know how this is going to go. I saw a tweet somewhere. I forget exactly the words. They said, I'm just preparing myself for. And Josh Allen with the 20-yard throw for a touchdown. Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
Okay. So I got nothing for you on this one. I'll sit here and tell you that Brady got the same things as Mahomes, although Brady, I think, did it better.
Yes.
Like Brady would like chew out the ref and be like, "Where's my flag?" He didn't bitch. He was like right in his face. Mahomes is like it's oily. You know, it
does feel that way.
It's definitely skirting the rule. I don't know how it's like cutting the corner of the rule. I can't really explain it. But the flags, I think the Bills got away with one last week.
All teams do.
Okay, let me just give you the play. Down the sideline, Keon Coleman pushes the defender.
Oh, I got to look this up.
They called defensive pass interference. Bills score the touchdown. Then the Ravens scored, 2 or 3 straight touchdowns? I can't remember what it was. And then they go for 2 and they missed. That one play alone. The flag, Bills got the flag. So I don't want to hear Bills fans saying anything about flags today. All right? You guys got the call. You got the go-ahead touchdown. And then what happened? Lamar got serious. And Derrick Henry got serious. And there were 2 points on the board. If they didn't miss a damn field goal earlier in the game.
That's true.
Or turn the ball over twice, the Ravens would have won that game. So my point is, Bills fans, when it happens today, remember that play. When it's Josh Allen 30-yard touchdown to Khalil Shakir holding on the offense, just remember. Oh no. It happened to you last week.
Yep. Wait a minute, there's a flag on the play.
I will say this.
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know about that.
I think it's coming back.
Tony Romo had money on the Bills last week. I would bet I would bet money he had money on him.
And can I say about Tony Romo? Yeah, he gets on my nerves too, but the criticism he's been receiving,
he sucks.
I think it's a little bit too much. He sucks, man. So what is he doing so different than what he did when he first started?
I at least thought he'd be like, all right, under center here, watch the guy in the slot, safety. You got one-on-one coverage on the outside. I don't know. Was it a first down? And he's like torn on if it's a first down or not, and here comes the chains. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know who he
can you give me an answer, please?
You know who he sounds like? I didn't know much when I was younger about this show. I probably shouldn't have been watching, but you remember Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah.
What was the sheriff? What was his name? Not Roscoe Pico. What was the
show again?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes.
And one of them would be like,
yeah, Roscoe. Yeah.
He sounded like Roscoe Pico.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Man. That's Tony Romo.
You know, I like a guy that would just tell you what he thinks. Like the refs. You know, when they bring the refs in and they're like, hey, what do you think here? Well, I think it's holding on the, and it comes back and it's like, play, what do they find out? No inconclusive cover, first down. It's like the guy was completely wrong. At least he gave a take. You know? At least he gave a take. Romo, he sucks. And you know what? At times, I think Brady's been much better of late.
I do too.
I think Brady's been real, like, he's been critical. He tells you what's coming. He found those 12 guys on the field in the Detroit game.
Yep.
He goes, call timeout, 12. And they missed it. How come Brady still has it in the booth?
He does.
But the guys on the field don't. He still has an elite, eye for the game.
Yep.
Which is kind of why I want him there. Maybe they need a 3-man booth to balance it out a little bit. Maybe have a defender. Imagine him and Rodney together. I don't know if it could ever work. Who'd be a Fox guy you could pair with him? I'll think about it. But maybe they could. See, I think Olsen's really good too. I don't know if they could put the two of them together.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to add something to it.
But he has gotten better.
I think it's because he knows the game. And in big situations, he knows. You know what else he does is, they're going to go to Josh Allen here. That's one thing I'll give Romo. Romo, at least last week, was 3rd and short. They're going to go sneak Romo. Going to go to sneak Allen, and they sneaked Allen. And then On one of the plays, the Ravens stopped him, if you remember. They stopped him on a 4th down, and he goes, I'd go for it. And then they kicked the field goal. They ended up winning the game by 2. But still, Roscoe Coltrane, people are sending it to us right now. James Best.
I had no idea what that show was about when I was young, but I loved it.
You know what show, by the way? I'm 42, Jeff. You're about my age. I never, ever, ever, ever liked Little House on the Prairie.
I've been watching it.
Waltons, all that crap.
Did I tell you I was watching that show?
No.
Yo, that's weird. That's spooky there.
No. Little House on the Prairie was like on before like 605 Wrestling on Saturday nights on TBS as a kid. I mean, I got to get Little House on the Prairie, and then here comes Juventud Guerrero or something.
My mother recently got me back into that show.
Little House on the Prairie?
She watches it, and I rolled my eyes, but then when I sat down, I'm like, man, these are some really good stories.
You know what else? I'm sorry, I'm 42, so I can't relate to this. But if I hear MASH, that song in the middle of the night, out.
Yeah, time to go to bed.
It always woke me up. TV 38, you know? Out! Can you believe they had a show that lasted that long about, I mean, I understand it was relatable for a lot of people. I get it. But that's like one of the longest running shows of ever.
They had some pretty intense episodes, too.
I know, but I know it's relatable. It's just, do you want to go back and watch that now?
It's comforting.
No.
It puts you to sleep. It rocks you to
sleep.
sleep.
So does the movie Predator. What was that?
The soothing tones of Jesse Ventura.
What was that thing though? That like Arnold with the Predator. Like what was it? Was it an alien?
I believe so. Yeah.
Do we ever come up with that? Do we ever know that it actually is an alien? Or was it like a monster? Like what the hell was the Predator?
It was like an alien. It was like a wartime alien, but it only went after people with weapons and stuff. It knew not to attack innocent people.
Really?
Yeah, because it was that scene in the second one where the kid has the fake gun. He's
never
pointing at
saw
him
the second one. That's a movie I never watched part 2. Are you kidding me? There was a part 2?
Alien versus Predator?
Oh, I never saw that one. Was it worth it?
I didn't see it.
Also known as a Yachty.
Yachty?
He was an extraterrestrial species. I guess we got to the bottom of that one.
Oh, God.
We'll go to break. Leroy's here. I'm Joe Murray.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
This is Tool. You ever heard of them?
Tool?
Yeah.
No.
All right. I know you're a fan of music.
Yeah.
Percussion. You would love Tool, my man.
Okay.
A lot of people are telling me that there was a spaceship at the beginning of Predator. And I just can't recall a spaceship falling. Jesse Ventura back at Saturday Night Main Event last night.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Got censored though for saying WWF.
Oh, understandable.
He's still got the heel. And then last night he goes, he goes, you could take it from one governor to another. And I don't know why. This gimmick has just got over so much. Someone says, what's up, Joe and Leroy? And the chat. What's up, chat?
Hey.
I don't usually YouTube on the weekends, but we have over almost 200 people watching us right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you would love Tool, man. Like, that's a good concert to go to. And
one of the loudest concerts I think I've ever been to in my life.
Yes, the percussion is. Want to hear percussion? It's got it. Steve in Fall River's been waiting. Hey, Steve.
How are you guys? I went to the Buffalo game last week with my daughter. It was a very good experience. And I watched it like you guys did, and I saw Baltimore stop themselves on every drive because obviously they didn't punt. And I kept thinking to myself, this ain't going to work next week. Even if Buffalo wins, there's no way Kansas City's going to stop themselves. But then afterwards, waiting for the traffic to clear, I didn't run right out. And I was talking to some of the Buffalo fans, and they were calm and cool and collected. They said, our matchup's better against Kansas City. We're not going to have to load the box up for the run, this, that, the other thing. We're not going to play zone. We're going to be able to, play a different mindset on defense and other stuff. And then I heard during the week a few analysts say they're going to basically take Kelsey away with one of their defensive players and leave it up to the rest of the offense of Kansas City to beat them. And maybe I'd like to see it happen if it unfolds that way, but I'm thinking they may know a little more than I do about it, and they have beaten them in the regular season. One other thing about Baltimore, obviously they have Derrick Henry and the Chiefs don't, but that offensive line was getting a push that was beyond ridiculous. I'm talking about the Ravens offensive line. It was completely mental, the kind of push they were getting. And I don't believe, I think that's a problem right now in Kansas City. So,
thanks, Steve. Good points. Kansas City's line's been hurt over the last couple of weeks. Joe Tooney's been playing a little bit of left tackle. Another one that got away, going for his, I believe, his 5th Super Bowl this year. Can you believe that? Jeez. If you just look at the game, though, like, although Travis Kelce is, people look at him as the number one option, and I don't look at him as the number one option anymore. And I actually think Noah Gray has been really great as the backup tight end. Worthy's been getting looks outside of just being a wide receiver, like Hollywood Brown. Between their running backs, Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Samaje Perine does a lot of stuff for them. Like, the thing with the Chiefs is, like, it's kind of like they don't have a number one option. And that's why they're so hard to defend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And defensively, they've drafted so well. They're like, I don't know, like, do they need to stuff the box and stop Josh Allen today? Like, I don't know. I think they got one of the best D linemen in the game right now. Great linebackers. Like, I think it's just a game where you put both teams out on the field, and it might be a shootout.
It might be. To what the caller said also, he said he heard, or he's hearing that, people saying, hey, the Bills, they're going to, give some extra attention to Travis Kelce. Excuse me. And, you were just saying he's not the guy like he used to be anymore, and I agree. But for some reason, third downs or in plays that they need he's always open. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's getting it done. And it's one of the most aggravating parts. I think third down, fourth down, if the Chiefs are going for it, okay, yeah, pay attention to Travis Kelce. He's not the same player he used to be. Absolutely not. But if I see him getting open and getting them first downs, wide open too, Joe. He's not, getting separation or anything. Wide open. I hope it doesn't happen. He said he also heard that the Bills won't be playing any zone. They might be going man. We'll see. But the Bills are built to beat them. They already beat them this year during the regular season.
Bills beat them 30-21.
Yeah.
Josh Allen struggled in that game. Went 27 of 40, threw a touchdown, interception, no sacks. They got to get at him today. Also, Josh Allen had 55 yards rushing, but had that, was that a 26-yard touchdown run that kind of
pretty much sealed the deal.
That sealed it for him. But Kareem Hunt had a big day. They were out their wide receivers at that point. I mean, their running backs at that point. Xavier Worthy had 4 catches that day. Travis Kelce held to 2.
So maybe they do have the formula, but it's the playoffs. It's different. That magic is a little bit different for the Chiefs come the playoffs.
And Buffalo sacked Patrick Mahomes twice. None for the Chiefs. Want to just take a quick look at the Celtics?
Sure.
Because I know people have concerns. But they beat the team that they beat in the championship last night. So to me, it's like, all right, well, I'm interested to hear Leroy's thoughts. We'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Celtics went 3-1 on their West Coast road trip. Ooh, something's wrong. Ooh. Yeah, they're the third best team in the NBA. Top 5 in offense and defense. Tatum scores 24 last night. But there's something wrong with the Celtics. Where you at on the green?
I don't like the argument of they're just going through the motions. And I was a person who believed that. I am glad to see that they've turned things around in a short period of time. Like you said, 3-1 on the road trip, but all the talk would make you think that they're just falling apart. I'm not impressed by yesterday's win. Dallas, no Luka. However, I am happy to see Derek White kind of got out of his little slump. He did his thing. I think with the Celtics, it's all about their mindset. And the only reason why I sweat concerning their mindset is because I don't want them to get into a habit of turning it on and turning it off. And this sounds so repetitive because we've had this conversation throughout the past few seasons, even before they won the championship. You can't, none of this turning it on, turning it off. And I'm not saying when you have it turned on that you have to be at 100%, but please be at a competitive level. And on the defensive side, we've watched them play certain games where they weren't competitive on defense. The level of competition, the level of desire wasn't there, and they're starting to get back around to that, and I like that. I was never in fear that they were going to fall apart and, that their chances of repeating weren't going to be there. I'm more concerned about building habits, yes, even as the champs, the current champs, building habits that can carry on throughout the playoffs, and they're getting back to that. I even saw something, I believe Jaylen Brown said something about a winning streak could be on the way. Yeah, I got to look that up, but, don't quote me on that because you can't trust everything you see on the internet.
So I only work in fact. Mm-hmm. Something doesn't look right.
Okay.
Do you know what it is? They're shooting less threes.
Less threes. Well, you can't have – okay, before I go off, were you one of the people who had an issue with them shooting too many threes?
You know I'm all about Missoula ball, baby.
Okay, so you are – okay.
I told you that the way that they win is being a front runner. They blow everybody out. They don't have to have any late game situations. They just – and everyone taps. It worked last year. You know that they're like one of the worst 2-point teams in the league?
I think that's a problem, though.
Jaylen Brown's 2-point percent. Yeah, but my thing is if it's a problem, I would point at Jaylen Brown. He's been bad from 3 and 2. Like his percentage has gone from 42% to 31%. Like Derek White's gone through a struggle. He was back last night.
Yep.
My point is this. There's this switch that everyone always talks about.
Yeah.
I'm not going switch.
Okay.
When they play Missoula ball, last night, 52 threes, hit 20, you win. You won convincingly. Missoula came on the air the other day with Zoe Beadle and basically said that they've been trying different things. But last night, they looked like on Monday when they played the Warriors, they won by 40 points. It was really the first time this year that they had their starting five with Missoula with Porzingis and their healthy bench. They won by 40. Yes, they've lost the other games that didn't look great, right? Then they played Dallas last night, go back to their style of play. They win big. I just think some of their late game stuff of late, I agree with you, has not been pretty.
Yeah.
It's on the coach. But in general, their struggles, I put on Missoula. And I also think that Jaylen Brown's not playing at the level he did a year ago. And I think if he does play at that level, they're unbeatable. So in a way, I don't look at Holiday. I don't look at White. Because Tatum's so consistent. And I know free throws and all that stuff. When Jaylen Brown's Jaylen Brown, they're unbeatable.
Unbeatable. Yeah.
So maybe he's right on. Maybe he looks at it and says, this Missoula ball thing actually kind of works.
But going back to Missoula saying, hey, we've been trying some different things. If that's truly the case, and I got to give him credit because, Joe, what happens when the threes aren't falling? Well, the team that they're going up is playing great defense, and you need to adjust. It was almost like as if the threes don't fall, then they really can't do anything else. And I know that sounds extra because, they are NBA players. They are a team. They are a championship team. They can adjust. But I'm talking about when the threes don't fall, what can you do? And I think that's where you're hearing, all right, we're trying to some things and whatnot. They got to have more than just a 3-point game. It's not going to happen every night. And when you get into the playoffs and teams start getting very familiar with what you do, you're going to need to have some adjustments in your pocket.
The truth is, if they struggle to shoot the basketball from 3, generally everything else falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that.
That's a problem. That's a problem, Joe.
Know why I push back on it?
Why is that?
I'm not saying you're wrong. My pushback is Missoula ball works.
And my pushback would be for anyone who says, yeah, it worked last season. Yes, it did. It worked in the playoffs, and they ended up being the NBA champions. But my pushback is you got to take into consideration, and at the time I didn't want to. At the time it was strictly about just win the championship. But a lot of teams were without some of their best players, man. If a lot of teams come back fully loaded and ready to go, it could look a little different. The competition's going to look different. If they're fully loaded, it may not be an easy path to the championship.
I'll say this. Let me just say this. The Celtics have so much talent on their roster. It's almost like, why do they have to be this 3-point shooting team? I get it, right? Mm-hmm. They're so good. Do you have to have the philosophy of shooting 50 to 60 threes a game?
All right.
My point is the rest of the league can't beat it. So, yes, could they just throw it inside to Porzingis and kick it around and they have enough talent to win that way? They do. Mm-hmm. But the Missoula ball high efficiency of attempts, they're unbeatable. So I get you. Yep, tight game. How do they look? I think Missoula's had some struggles. I do. But last night, 52 threes.
52.
And by the way, the fact is, every single month, from October, November was their best shooting month. But their attempts went down in December. Their attempts are down 7% in the month of January. So it's like they've gone down every month on their attempts. They're getting worse. Last night they went back up. They win. That's just a trend for me,
I'm also curious. I should have looked this up. I wonder if the 3-point attempts during the month of December went down throughout the league. Only reason why I'm asking that is because, remember, there was talks about the ratings and all that.
You're right.
I wonder if
at Christmas people didn't like it.
Yeah, and I wonder if there were conversations
Good take.
circling around the league saying, hey, I don't know.
Maybe less threes make things more competitive for everybody.
Yeah, and it sounds crazy,
I
but
know.
stuff like this happens all the time, people.
I like that take.
Yeah.
We should look into that a little bit more.
Gotta look at that.
Kenny G's in Atlanta.
Hey, how y'all doing, guys? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Hey, listen, I love everything y'all saying, and I'm with you. And I bring it back to this. I'm going to go on the opposite side because I was just calling in and saying the last time the Celtics lost, or the last 2 times they lost when they held a team under 100, so that means playing defense, correct?
Yeah.
January 24th of 2023. All right, so it's been over 2 years. In December 18th of 2022, they lost by 3 points in both of them games. My point is this. Why is that not their calling card? Because although they make all the threes, and you're right, that scores, you want to talk about almost unbeatable, it's when they play defense. So I chime in and I'll hear what y'all got to say, but like I said, I just gave you a fact. Over 2 years, they haven't lost when they hold someone under that many points. So that's where I'm at. But I like your theory, too, about them shooting the three.
No, Kenny, they can be Missoula ball and play defense.
I agree. Yeah, so what happened? So let me ask you this. We on the same page. What happened to the defense then?
I think I feel like it's a night-to-night thing. To me.
And I don't like it. I know people will say, but they can turn it on. Yeah, they can turn it on. It's a habit thing for me. And maybe they are capable of turning it on. They've gotten to that point. And if so, I mean, good for them or whatever. But I want them personally to be on all the time. Like I said earlier, Joe, maybe you're not at 100%. You're not going full throttle. Maybe you just bring it down a gear. But a gear that's still got you dominating a team on the defensive side. Because he's right. The call is right. Defensively, when they're on, you talk about really, all right, 3-pointers are nice. They're unstoppable when they're hitting their three. That's great. Man, you turn that defense up. Now you're embarrassing teams. You're really embarrassing teams. You're sending messages to the league so that when you get to the playoffs, teams are already shook coming in because they know what this team is capable of. That's the thing. I think it's more of a mental thing with me. Send a message to the rest of the league to not even think about playing with them when it comes to the playoffs. When it comes to the playoffs, we're going to take it up another notch. You have no chance. It's mind games, man. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. We'll get into the rest of championship weekend in the final hour. Mookie Betts spoke about the Red Sox, why he may have left, the Dodgers. This is worth playing here.
Yes, it is.
We'll do that coming up next. Leroy Irvin's here. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
And then I hear about the Red Sox were interested, but the Dodgers signed him. Or, hey, the Red Sox were interested, but they signed with blank. The Red Sox were in on it, but blank. And this Alex Bregman thing, like, I think the Red Sox really only want to go like 1, 2, 3 years with an option. Like, that's it. There are teams that want to give him 6, 7, 5 years, whatever. The Red Sox aren't going to sniff those kind of contracts. They're not. But they were forced to pay Rafael Devers. Forced.
Right.
From fans. They got his money, right? Devers got paid. On looking back, it's a good move, but has it moved the needle?
No. What about the rest of the team?
Okay. The most franchise-altering move that this team has made is trading Mookie Betts to the Dodgers.
Yep.
Like, Connor Wong is the only piece remaining from the trade. Like, Verdugo is in this. He plays for the Yankees. Right? Like, it just Jeter Downs out of the league. It was a business decision, says one man. And, well, on the, and I want to just reference the correct podcast here. Mookie Betts had an appearance on the All the Smoke podcast.
Yeah.
Matt Barnes, right? Steven Jackson.
Yep.
They want the smoke, huh?
They got the smoke.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I think this is worth listening, Red Sox fans. Jeff, if we can cue it up here. Mookie Betts talking about the Red Sox, his relationship with the team, and what happened. It's all right here in this clip. Let's hear from Dodgers future Hall of Famer Mookie Betts.
As quiet as it's kept, I enjoy watching Red Sox games.
Do you still?
Because of Cora. I love Alex Cora, and I enjoy watching Red Sox games because I enjoy. Like, people think I hate it. People think I didn't want to be there, and I was all a facade. Like, it's still business. Business is business. You have to be able to separate business from personal. Now, being personal, like my personal relationship with Boston, as I said, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And so I still talk to front office people there. And like I said, AC, man, I loved it. I love it. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love where I'm at now. I love David Roberts. I love being a Dodger. Being a Dodger has been probably the best thing that's ever happened in my life. But I absolutely love.
What happened out there?
Man, I mean, I think
MVP,
it's
championship, they didn't want to.
It's just business, man. Like, business is business. Like, people trying, you cannot blend the two. Like, you just cannot do it. As bad as I want to,
can't do it.
You can't do it. And once you try and do it, that's when not the best things happen. Not necessarily bad things, but not most optimal either. Yeah. And for the best outcome for Mookie Betts and his family, I had to take care of business.
Can I just tell you how I feel?
The first time you heard this?
No, I've heard it.
Oh, okay.
I've heard it.
I heard it last night. My jaw dropped. Go ahead. What are your feelings after hearing that?
So this has been going around, but he didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave. He loves Boston. To the point where he's still checking out games. He's saying, I love Cora. He loves Boston. He didn't want to go.
He said he loved Boston. He still watches the games. Still has a relationship with management.
Oh, my God.
And really put over Alex Cora.
But you know what else I took from that? When he said it comes down to business, tells me the Red Sox did not want to pay that man what he deserved at all. They were nowhere close. And as painful as it was, I love Boston. They don't want to do business. They're flaky about it. I got to go do what's best for me and my family. I mean, like he said, MVP, championship. Let's do business. Let's sit down. You know my value. You know my worth. This is what I expect. This is what other people are getting. I expect X amount. And it tells me the Red Sox weren't even close. They weren't even trying, and it became a business thing. And if you're a Red Sox fan, I don't know how you can sit around today and have any positive feelings, emotion about the direction of the team today. It stings. It should sting.
Does anybody look at Mookie Betts and feel as though he was asking for too much?
No.
And here's why. I just looked this up. As far as salaries in Major League Baseball, 20th is Vladimir Guerrero, who just got an arbitration deal at $28 million junior. I just want to throw that junior in there.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
Number 19, Rafael Devers at $29 million. Number 18, Mookie Betts, $30 million. Now, that's 18th in the league. I didn't bring up Arenado, Stanton, Glasnow, Altuve, Seager, Lindor, Cole, Snell, Trout, Correa, Rendon, DeGrom, Judge, Wheeler, Soto, Ohtani. They could have signed Mookie Betts probably for less than $30 million a year at the time. Mookie Betts, is he a top 20 player in the league?
Absolutely.
They couldn't pay him top 20 in the league money? Are you kidding me? And you know what? It was business. When you're an MVP and you win the World Series, you should bet on yourself.
You should, yep.
And I just look at it now, and when I said those names and I say Rafael Devers, I feel like he doesn't belong.
You know, recently, Red Sox fans were led to believe that, you know, the Red Sox were in on certain players and really going to put forth the effort and the money, most importantly, to get some players in here, and ultimately it didn't happen. When I hear stuff like this, I'm like, you know what? There's nothing the Red Sox can tell me now that will make me believe that they're serious about being a contender, and part of being a contender in baseball is spending money. They're not serious. They're not serious at all, and it's been this way for a while. I'll believe it when I see it. Until then, you can talk all you want. You can send all the messages you want through the media. You can, pretend to be involved on this player and that player and that player. Until I see it, I will no longer believe anything that they say. For me, Mookie Betts, that one really, really, really stings, because not only on the field, but beyond that, away from the game.
What did this guy do not to deserve
right?
Like, what did they look at him like? Oh, speed center fielders when they get older. Like, this guy plays multiple positions for the Dodgers.
Oh, my God.
And he did here.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about marketing, promotions, sales, and all that. This guy was the face.
They could have given him the $30 million a year, and he still would have gotten everything.
Yep.
He still would have gotten all the... This is... This is Babe Ruth level.
Oh, yeah. The curse of Mookie Betts. Absolutely.
Guy has the most championships in Major League Baseball.
Oh, my God.
And they traded him.
And what makes it worse?
They traded him.
Joe, what makes it worse is the man sounds like he's close to tears when he talks about Boston. And this isn't the first time. You always get the sense that he loved this
Did he
place.
say anything that we haven't heard before? Really, no.
Yeah.
But he had to do what was best for his family because the Red Sox weren't going to.
They didn't want to do business.
Do they look like they still want to do business?
No. I almost fell into
It's like, how are they not learning? You get what I'm saying?
Right. Who was it that they were just trying to get? The big name, the batter. I can't. Why is his name?
Soto?
Yes, Juan Soto. Everybody thought they was in. I don't believe it anymore. They weren't for real. They weren't for real at all. I was starting to believe again. Okay, they're going to put their money where their mouth is and make the Red Sox.
He at least, I'll say this, and it could have been from his agent, but he did say he liked Rafael Devers and Cora.
That's great.
You know, there was. And no, I hear what you're saying. At least I do think that they might have been one of the 5 teams in the conversation. I do believe that.
You got to be the one.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
And there were 2 New York teams that were one.
Right. You got to be the one. Sox aren't serious, man. They're not serious at all. Long gone are the days, and I don't know if this was necessarily good for baseball, but when teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Red Sox were literally fighting to get the best players no matter how much it cost, the end of the day, man, the Red Sox are not that anymore, and you might as well accept it.
I can't believe that they traded that man. Like, that's what they got? An outfielder?
Yeah.
A backup catcher? An infielder? Like, that's it. I might, people always talk about like the trades that happened. Like, I always hear they traded Jeff Bagwell for a middle reliever, and look what happened there.
Right.
This is worse.
This is way worse.
This changed the franchise. They did go to a playoff, 1-game playoff, and won against New York. Then what's that? 0-1 was that?
Was that huge? They lost.
When was that? Kyle Schwarber home run. What year was that? That was the last time I felt baseball in my blood.
21?
Yeah, it was 21. Okay. People around the league hear that the Red Sox didn't want to play ball with Mookie Betts.
Then what are you playing for? And I'm talking about the organization.
Who wants to play here?
Right. If you don't want to play ball, then why are you in the business?
If somebody could have a big year and they don't want to sign them, like, what do? You won a championship? You're the MVP of the league. You're a model citizen, play multiple positions. Everyone respects you, and they don't play ball with that guy. And I don't hate to compare, but isn't this how Tom Brady felt?
That's a good point. Yeah. And he sacrificed financially. He sacrificed.
And not for nothing, went to the Bucks, got every dime, and won. Just like Mookie Betts went to the Dodgers, got every dime, and won. And now everybody wants to play with him and win. It's hard.
I would have felt better if what we heard from Mookie Betts or have heard over the few years saying, hey, if he talked about Boston, like, I really don't even want to talk about Boston. And you got the sense that he didn't like it here, almost that he hated being here. But that's not the case.
Yeah, Mookie Betts said he loves Boston, loves Alex Cora, still talks to management and everything, but they didn't want him. Imagine not wanting that guy.
Oh, my God.
It's Championship Sunday, everybody. Who do you want this weekend? Bills, Chiefs, Washington, Eagles. Who you got? We'll get into that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. There is some breaking news when it comes to the Eagles-Washington game. We'll give you that in a minute here. Just to follow up on the conversation. We just said someone mentioned that we were being, let me use the word here that they wrote, intellectually dishonest on the Mookie Betts contract. I gave you the $30 million per year. The Red Sox didn't want to go years. I don't care what it was.
I don't care either.
Well, sign the guy.
Pay the man.
Just give him the money. What did... Okay. And then someone in the chat goes, in Brady's case, it was money, and Bill completely mismanaged it. May I remind you that remember the documentary that the Krafts made? Mm-hmm. It was Robert Kraft who said that they didn't want to lose the rights to retain Tom Brady, but Brady wanted to restructure a deal where they didn't have his rights. And Kraft said that he did the deal. He said it on the documentary. Don't make me go back and get it, because I will. So everyone says Bill mismanaged it. No. You know when a dog does something, you pull his collar? No. Kraft said it himself on the documentary. So I did the move because it's what Brady wanted. He did it. Oh, I don't know if I can do this today. It's championship weekend. But please, I'm at a point now in my life where all the Bill haters out there, yeah, Bill was a jerk. Bill's not in the league right now because he probably burned a lot of bridges. But when it comes to the Krafts and any decision that they have made since Tom Brady, it was here, 2019. Unfortunately, it sounds like the Krafts had a lot of their hands in it, and Belichick hated it. So bad that he sank the ship. That's my take. So when I hear someone say, Bill really mismanaged it, did Bill really mismanage it? Because I'm pretty sure the owner said it in a document that he paid for that buried Bill Belichick. Oh, and just another thing, Leroy, now that I'm on it, because, again, I'm not at night, so, again, I usually work nights. You work mornings, so your brain works better in the morning. I'm starting to wake up a little bit. Was it the Krafts that didn't want Belichick back, right? They fired him?
Right.
They fired him. And they wanted to move on from all the Belichick stuff, right?
Yep.
But then they bring back Bill Belichick's offensive coordinator and a guy who played for Bill Belichick. So have they really gone away from Bill Belichick?
No.
Thank you. Thank you. That one was just, when someone wrote, Bill really mismanaged that one. Oh, was it Bill?
Which one's worse?
Belichick or Betts? I mean, Brady or Betts?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Red Sox only because, I don't even go to the games. Like, I don't even want to have Nesson on my television anymore.
Right.
Like, when we do Red Sox talk, I'm like, this sucks. When I hear the Red Sox are interested in someone, I'm like, shut up.
No, you're not. Stop lying. Yeah.
And quite frankly, if I look at both of them, like John Henry doesn't spend money and gets away with it because all you keep going to the park. With the Patriots, like I gave up my season tickets. I want the Patriots to do well. I really mean that. Like it's good for us here. Like we do post game. How horrible was it this year?
Oh, it was tough.
Last year was, I think, worse. Now that I think about it. Last year was really bad.
Still tough. Yeah.
This year though was like after every game it was Gerard Mayo, same thing on me.
Who predicted
on me?
Here comes Gerard Mayo. We would say what he said.
On me. He'd step in it by saying something stupid, but take all the blame and then call someone soft, and then oh, you said it, I didn't. Like it was just the same thing over. It was horrible. But for me to just sit here and not question the moves of a man who let Tom Brady go for nothing and let Bill Belichick go for nothing. Which one was worse? Well, the Red Sox at least traded Betts, and quite frankly, they got nothing. like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, really, the Red Sox almost lost more fans, I would say, but you all keep going to the park. With the Patriots, it's like, Do you want to renew? Do you want to spend the day there? Like those season tickets are expensive. Like it's a lot to park. Like concessions and just. I mean, I'm rooting. I want to root for Drake May, and he's everything that everyone's hanging on to. It's just what was worse. I probably was Betts because I think the relationship with the team. At least people here still love the Patriots and want the Patriots to be good.
The impact was greater negatively for the Red Sox with Betts leaving.
Both were bad.
Yeah, they're bad.
Both were bad. Who's in a better situation right now?
Honestly, it feels the Patriots.
Because they think they have the quarterback.
Yeah. And they've made moves, whether you like it or not, to present things to look a little bit more stable now. We still have to see, but it does feel like things are stabilizing. Where the Red Sox, it's a joke when you hear about them being interested in a player. Half or maybe even more of the fan base just dismisses it as, yeah, right. I just said, yeah, right, until I see it, I won't believe it.
You know, it's funny. I know it's Championship Sunday, but this could be something. What was worse? Betts or Brady?
Yeah. And Betts, young, not even on the rise, but, the ceiling was higher. I think people could still argue, even though Tom Brady defied the odds, he wasn't going to be Tom Brady for the next 10, 15 years. Betts is something different, man. That's different. And like I said, I mean it with every ounce of my being. That one stung. It was shock. Like, really?
But my whole thing with Brady was he left, got all his money, went to the worst team too, won. Was competitive the next couple of years. You know what I mean? Still kept around, helped Mike Evans get big numbers, big contract. But the Bucks are still going, right? Yeah. Baker Mayfield, the Liam Cohen situation was pretty interesting, but they're still going. You know what I mean? Yep. Brady left them, and they're still there, a playoff team. Someone in our chat mentioned one killed the team, the other buried the franchise. Might be right. The other one is if they traded Betts and got a return, I think a lot of people would still hate the move. I mentioned this when it comes to the Bruins, not to do it as a Bruins take, but the Bruins for years had Chara here, Bergeron, Krejci, Torrey Krug, Tuukka Rask. All these guys were here, and now with Marchand in the last year of his deal on a suck team, would you consider trading him to get something in return? They didn't do that with any of those players. To say what you want about the Celtics, but they moved on from Pierce, Garnett, and whatever, and it turned into Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So I always think it is okay to look towards the future a little bit.
Yeah.
Celtics did it, and it was successful. Just when I look at the Bruins, I'm like, they really suck.
But none of them at that point were on bet status in his game, which was an MVP and a champion. See you later. That's cold. That's like getting rid of Paul, Ray, and KG after 2008. Thanks. See you later.
And the only thing I'll say is I always thought Danny Ainge was very transparent. Hey, we're going to rebuild. This is how it's going to be. The Bruins, by the way, they're like Jeff, you're a big Bruins fan. I think they're in the worst situation possible. They're too good to suck, and they're not good enough to be bad.
I said this to Leroy, I think last week or the week before.
Yeah. It's like purgatory.
They're mediocre.
They're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right? They're right there.
Pretty similar color schemes.
Right? It's right there. And one thing's clear, though, about them, not to make this a Bruins discussion, because I know we're going all around here, but it's clear the Bruins need to overhaul everything. They need a new GM. They need a new coach with a philosophy. And they need to, build up their system again and figure out some of these contracts that are weighing them down. Whether it's McAvoy or you name them, the Lindholm, Zadorov, you got it. Everything's just in reset. And listen, the Celtics right now, I don't know if they keep Brown and Tatum forever. Maybe they will. So that will always keep them competitive. You know what I mean? Having those two guys, it's just the Patriots are banking on Drake May. The Red Sox are banking on young kids that when they do get their contracts, are they going to pay them?
Right.
The Celtics just paid everybody. And now that they had to sell the team because of it.
But they won.
And they're going for another one.
Yeah.
And who knows what happens after that? I think everyone in this town is just like, the Celtics are bust right now, and maybe the play style some people aren't into. No, my whole thing with the Red Sox, though, people still pack Fenway Park. Like, the team stinks, people still go.
There's a lot of visitors, though, too, out of town.
Yeah, but that's the way they've made it now. They've made it the Cathedral of Boston.
Can't stand that place. I know I'm not supposed to say that out loud, but yeah. Whatever.
Can't fit in the seats. I hate it. All right, should we go to Bill sunk the ship on purpose or Gerard Mayo?
Let's go to Bill.
Oh, I went to Eric. Sorry. Hi, Eric.
No, Eric is the guy I'm the guy that thinks that Bill sunk the ship on purpose.
I agree. Eric, I agree with you, but go ahead.
I was going to say that, don't forget, this is the man that traded Logan Mankins to Tampa Bay, who was a terrible team at the time, for pennies on the dollar because Mankins held out and spoke up.
And
he didn't give Cleveland. He didn't give Cleveland a chance to get Garoppolo. He sent Garoppolo to San Fran for pennies on the dollar because he was a little bit butthurt. I think without a doubt he did that. He saw the writing on the wall and said, watch this. Try to figure this stuff out without me.
Joe, I said that Bill Belichick, this is seasons ago. I said it feels like sabotage, and people laughed at me. They pointed the finger and said, "You idiot, you clown. You don't know what you're talking about." But I'm like, man, I just sat back and just looked, observed, and said, man, this feels like sabotage. This feels like somebody who's upset that he doesn't have the control that he once had. He's not having his way. But when it comes to his contract, there was nowhere he was going. So it's like, all right, if I'm heading out the door, and then we find out, apparently, that Mayo was, that situation was done behind his back or whatever. I said, it feels like sabotage. He's setting up so that when he leaves, this organization is in shambles. And I got called everything but a child of God. And now,
you are a child.
Here are people. Now, he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Funny.
I just got this one. Joe, Bill lowballed Brady year after year after year and then drafted his replacement. Are we sure it was Bill who lowballed him? And yes, by the way, do I think the Patriots would have continued to be good if they went with Garoppolo? Yes, but I do think they would have been good. The problem is Garoppolo's health was the biggest issue, and quite frankly, it worked. They won a championship.
They sure did.
They won a championship. So if some people want to, why does everyone still blame Bill Belichick when Kraft's the one making decisions?
Would you feel better if people mentioned both their names in their sentence, in their opinion?
No, but I'll never forget this, because I do agree with you about what you just said about you've been saying this for years, but it was the Cowboys game last year that got me. They lost. They lost 34-0, and I said there, I sat here today and I go, yeah, Bill's tanking. Bill is tanking. Like, there were question marks if the Patriots were tanking. Bill tanked that situation. Like, you want to bring in Bill O'Brien, and you want to run the team and make decisions, this is what it's going to look like. And I think last year Bill Belichick literally rolled out the balls.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what games he didn't? Was Christmas Eve versus Denver, which ended up turning into the difference between Jaden Daniels and Drake May. So tell me that wasn't a spite move to the franchise. And, while we're at it, the team had a chance at the number 1 pick this year, and Gerard Mayo won the game, and Billy wants to talk about it. Hey, Billy.
Hey, Big Joe Murr. I remember you at 15-10, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, that was, that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, we had a show and you used to always tell me how bad I was.
Oh, what was your show?
Touching all the bases.
I remember your show. Why? I never
said
you
used to always tell me how bad I was, and the other guy was great and I was bad. Oh, well, but that's besides the point.
I know your show. Why would I ever tell you were bad?
You did. You told me, you said, Kevin's great. You don't really know what you're doing or anything. And I'll just never forget it. That's
I was an intern and I said that to you?
You said that to me, and I don't think I talked to anybody for a week after that because nobody did anything. But anyways,
well, I mean, I'm here now, Billy. So I mean, you know,
yeah.
I get.
God bless you.
Maybe I did know what I was talking about. What are you doing these days?
You must have, because I didn't get the gig. Like I said, everybody was shocked, but I wish you the best. Hey, listen. Gerard Mayo walking around with the baseball bat. Was that true last year or was that false?
That was true.
That was true.
Yeah, people reported it. It was reported.
Yeah. And did he think he was going to get fired or did he think he was there forever?
Well, he thought he was best friends with the owner, so they called him Thunder.
So he wasn't. So obviously. Yeah. And did Denver try to hire him? Is that what caused all this?
Carolina tried to interview him for the job, and they didn't let him.
No, but before Sean Payton, they said that the Broncos were going to hire him, Joe.
Yeah, the Broncos interviewed him for the head coaching job.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and then he was going to go visit with Carolina, and then they gave him that deal. Just so you know, the Gerard Mayo thing was a behind-the-back move on Bill Belichick. They had it approved by the league that he would take over so they wouldn't have to do a hiring search.
Wow. Now, because of the Rooney Rule, but he was a man of color, so that, that did it. You know, the Chiefs today...
They didn't have a hiring search, so they didn't need to do the Rooney Rule.
And they also had a man of color.
No, it had nothing to do with that.
That had nothing to do with it.
It had zero to do with it. They manipulated everything, and the league signed off on it.
Wow. Hey, one last thing, Joe, yes. and I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. I just want to tell you.
All right. Well, I don't think I told you suck. I know you feel that way, but I didn't.
Maybe you were joking, but I don't know. I just always felt bad about it. I often wondered what I did to cause that.
No.
But anyway,
I don't know. Jeff worked at 1510. I don't know. I think I liked everybody when I was there.
All right. When the Chiefs started, when I started watching football, they were the Dallas Texans.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. So that goes to show how long and what the Hunt family did for football. Mm. You know that. Mm-hmm. I mean, because the Patriots stayed here. Billy Sullivan, the original owners, didn't have the entrance fee, and the Hunt family made it for them. Mm-hmm. So they're lucky. But, Joe, have a great day, great show. And how's Leroy doing over there?
I'm doing good. I'm just listening and, taking it all in.
Touching all the bases.
Oh, man. That was torture. Why'd you tell that man that he sucked?
I don't remember any of that.
Does that sound
back then I sucked.
But does that sound like the type of Joe from 15 years ago?
Do you think I would tell someone they suck?
I don't believe so. I don't believe
Listen, a lot of people tell me I suck. You still listen. Like, it happens.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jeff, you think I would ever tell someone that they suck?
No,
you weren't
not really.
there. Did the show suck?
I think he's telling stories. I mean, you were a little rough on the guy when you were like, "What are you doing now?"
Well,
that was kind of heavy.
Well, I just he. I did, I guess.
You should have cut that man's line a long time ago.
It's making a lot of men of color references there, Leroy. I don't know. I saw you there. I actually don't agree with that. It could have been anybody, I feel like, and they could have, like, that backdoor deal. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole baseball bat thing that he mentioned. This guy knew he was going to be the next head coach and would bring him back to the meetings.
Are we sure that's true?
It's reported. It's reported.
But is it true?
I am not a reporter.
So he was Joe Clark? Lean on me? He was running around with a bat?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, was that Morgan Freeman?
Yes, it was.
Was Louis Gossett Jr. in that movie too?
Very sad.
Fair East Side.
He's making Patriots sing in the bathroom?
True story. When I was in high school, we had a dean that would just pull us out and make us sing the school song. Swear to God. This was like the 90s.
You were Sam's?
Late 90s, Leroy.
Principal
Well,
Mayo?
we're the same age.
Yeah.
This had to be like 1997. I got pulled out of a class. Joe sing the school song, and I had to. Went back to class, and everything was good.
And you seem like
I can't even remember the school song anymore.
You seem like the type of person who would have given it your all, though, too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. A chance to.
Fair East Side.
Stupid, man. Wow.
All right. Let's get back on track.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
center is out. They have a great line. They really do. Their center is out, and Jalen Hurts has a bad knee. So are they going to be pushing with Tush?
I wouldn't. Watch it come down to that. It's 4th and 1 on the 1-yard line. 2 seconds left in the game. Eagles down by 5.
The backup center has a bad exchange. They fumble. Washington recovers.
Watch it come down to that. If it does, I will be picking up my phone and calling you instantly. That is significant, though. You can't dismiss that. At first, when we were talking about Jalen Hurts' knee, I didn't think it was going to be a big issue, and the reports are that he has full mobility and that he should be okay. But then when your center goes down, man, that changes a lot. That changes a whole lot.
So we're getting different reports now from Adam Schefter here on Twitter is saying that they're going to see how he does in pregame.
See? Now, this is why I waited. Schefter saying active.
Doesn't mean he's going to start.
What are we watching right there?
Yeah,
what is that? Is that ESPN?
That's ESPN.
ESPN said he wasn't playing. So where does Schefter work?
ESPN.
Source War.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Is he playing or not? When do the inactives come out? When it's 3 o'clock, right? Oh no, 6 is kickoff, right? No, when is kickoff? 3, right?
3 o'clock, yeah.
So that would be
within the next probably a half hour.
It should be out. The inactive should already be out, right? Eagles inactives. Let's see what we have here. Okay, I'll wait on those. Is he playing or isn't?
Is it? I like that. Is he or is he not?
Now this whole discussion now has just been thrown out. Is he playing or not?
Now it says Cam Jurgens active versus Washington with the back. See it on the bottom right corner?
So their center is going to play with a bad knee? What the hell is
a bad back?
Bad back?
Bad back.
We all have a bad back.
Yeah.
And their quarterback has a bad knee.
A bad knee.
And everything's going to be fine. See, I'm
yeah, but we can't dismiss, you got Saquon back there. I'll just pass him the ball. Get busy. And I wouldn't be shocked if today is a day where those wide receivers, where Hurts and those wide receivers kind of wake up and show up. I'm like, oh, yeah, you forgot about them, huh?
38 minutes ago, Pro Bowl center Cam Jurgens out for today's NFC Championship game. Update. Cam Jurgens active for today's game. Don't you know we're doing a radio show?
Don't you know people have bets to place?
Yeah. All right, Leroy, let's give our picks.
Mm-hmm.
Let me set it up like Joe Me the Money style. You ready for this? Okay, you ready? In the NFC Championship game, it will be the Philadelphia Eagles hosting Jaden Daniels in Washington. Right now, Eagles -6, total 46.5. Leroy, who you got?
I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning. I want the Commanders, but I've said this since the beginning of the show. Eagles are just they're just loaded. They're too dominant on both sides of the ball. The center and quarterback situation with his knee is going to be something to look at for the Eagles, but I still think the Eagles are going to get it done.
My betting analysis will tell you that there is zero trend in history for Washington to win this game. There has never been a team to win 4 consecutive road games before a playoff. I know the Giants won 3 road games. There's never been a rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl. So as far as an analysis goes, I think Washington's going to struggle to stop the run today, and that the defensive line will probably get at Jaden Daniels. But I'm going against it. Give me the Commanders +6 today. So that doesn't mean I think they win.
Right.
I like them to cover the spread.
Okay.
AFC Championship game. Kansas City Chiefs going for 3 consecutive Super Bowls. Wait, how many Super Bowls in a row would this be? Is that right?
3.
3. Taking on the Buffalo Bills. Bills 2-point underdogs on the road. Total 49.5. Leroy, who you got?
I'm really searching my spirit right now because I don't want the hate for the Chiefs to influence my pick. But I'm going with the Bills. I think they will continue to play some clean football. They won't turn it over. They are going to run the ball, control the clock. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills.
I'm not fading the Chiefs at home in a playoff game. Kidding me? They got here because of their defense. In order to win today, they'll have to have their best defensive outing of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Patrick Mahomes goes off for over 2 touchdowns today. The offense gets going. Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. If I had to bet, it would be a rematch Chiefs-Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Bills-Eagles, but I would love to see Bills-Commanders.
Just give me Washington.
Oh, my God.
Please. And I'm not rooting for the Bills at all. We're back again next week, Leroy.
Yep.
And maybe we'll have an update?
Yes, there should be an update.
Okay.
Got to do what I got to do, man.
You going to make any moves this week, though?
I may or may not. She might be listening now, so I got to keep it a secret.
Okay. Secret, everybody. Largest, most listened to radio station in the United States with 300 people watching on YouTube.
Oh, man.
Jeff Williams, excellent job. Jake Seymour.
Coming up on the Sports Hub.
Hey, it's Jay Stu. Don't miss Nine Dragons, the hottest new spot at the Brook Casino. Enjoy legendary favorites from Kowloon paired with innovative dishes and culinary creations you'll love. Sip elevated cocktails in the Forbidden City Lounge. Visit Nine Dragons at the Brook Casino. Learn more at livefreeandplay.com.
Hey folks, Mike Felger here. So we all know New England winters can be wicked rough. So don't get stuck. Come to Liberty Chevy's all-wheel drive-away, where you can drive off with no payments for 90 days and save up to $12,000 on your next new Chevy. Another reason why you need to visit my friend John Anzalone and his team at Liberty Chevrolet, where you can lease a new 2024 Silverado 1500 for $289 a month or a new Equinox for $259 a month. And they approve everyone. You really can drive away in a new all-wheel drive Chevy truck or SUV. Get Liberty for less, and together, let's drive.
Contractors, Wilmington Builder Supply has been supplying your industry with everything you need to make your next project a success for over 100 years. Wilmington Builder Supply offers a full line of building materials like truss joist, engineered wood by Weyerhaeuser, and anything else you need for your next job. Wilmington Builder Supply offers expert advice and exceptional customer service to contractors and homeowners alike. Visit Wilmington